Good afternoon. It's 3:01. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs Studios. In NFL news today, the Las Vegas Raiders have officially named Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as their new head coach. Kubiak signed a 5-year deal with Vegas. Also, Browns tight end David Njoku has announced via Instagram that his time in Cleveland is over as he will be a free agent in the upcoming league year. Njoku was drafted by Cleveland in the first round of the 2017 draft after playing his college ball at Miami. The Tennessee Vols have lost another coach as the Rams are hiring Tennessee cornerbacks coach Michael Hunter, who recently joined the staff after spending 2 years as assistant DB's coach at Ohio State. And tonight in college hoops, Vanderbilt back on the road as they head to Auburn to face off against the Tigers, with tip-off set for 6 p.m. Central Time in Neville Arena. For all your foundation repair, whatever needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Bringing news at once on your home of the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, welcome in 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Another warm one today. Got some rain coming in, cooler temperatures tomorrow, but we're going to enjoy it today. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Don Davenport on assignment. Sleigh Dog in Bristol, Connecticut. So you've got me until 6 o'clock. Zeph is here too.
What's up?
Executive producer of 3HL. Sleigh Dog is going to check in the next segment from Bristol. He sent us speaking of the weather today being nice here in the 70s again, he sent us a picture of piled up snow in Bristol.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad when I texted this morning because I was outside.
Yeah, you text like, damn, it feels good today.
I was like, man, it feels great out here. And then poor Slay stuck in the...
he'll be fine. He gets AT, airtime on ESPN tonight, and he does a great job. And they've got some basketball coming up on the big network. North Carolina and Duke both involved. I don't know if y'all watched that game on Saturday, but it was incredible. Duke led the entire way. At halftime, I took North Carolina plus 11.5, and they immediately come back. I just figured at home they're not going to get blown out. They probably won't win, but they won't get blown out. They end up hitting a 3 at the buzzer to beat Duke. And there was a video of a fan. Did you see this? There was a video of a fan, a Duke fan, in Chapel Hill, in the arena, leaving the arena, and one of the ESPN reporters caught up with him, and he was sobbing. He had all his Duke gear on. He was sobbing. And he goes, this doesn't even matter. This won't happen at Cameron Indoor. This doesn't even matter. And I'm like, dude, if it doesn't matter, what are you doing?
Yeah, why are you crying? Like, yeah, come on, man. It clearly does matter.
It's not a funeral here, bro.
It's okay. It's okay that it matters. That's the fun of college basketball and these rivalries, and the fact that you can have an upset on a last-second 3 like that, which was incredible because they stormed the court, and then there was still 0.4 seconds left, and so they had to wait, and like everybody out the court, and then Duke threw it in, didn't get a shot off, and then. That was it.
Well, it made me think. I'm sorry, because I saw it again today. You know how things just start filling your timeline, and even though they're old. But I started thinking, what loss hurt you the most? As a sports fan, what loss hurt you the most? For that guy, God help us all if it wasn't that game. But, I mean, he was sobbing, tears hitting the floor, not even his face. What loss stands out to you that hurt more than any other loss?
I mean, going recently, that 2022 versus South Carolina, which we talked about with Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton on Radio Row last week.
And Hendon broke some news on that little conversation at the Super Bowl.
That one was a gut punch because you go into that game and you're thinking, okay, well, Tennessee's a clear favorite here. You win this game, you're in the college football playoff because you have Vanderbilt the next week. And this was before Vanderbilt was the Vanderbilt we've known the last couple years.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, well, just win this game, and you're in the 14 playoff, and you're competing for a national championship. Hendon's in the conversation for a Heisman, and then just gut punch when South Carolina came out. And Tennessee battled with them for a little bit with Hendon. I mean, but they were playing from behind almost instantly, and that one sucked.
What loss hurt you the worst? That's a big one, especially if you're of a certain age. Now, if you're of a different age, I'll go back to 2001 when Tennessee beat Florida to end the regular season. The game had been moved because of 9/11 to the end of the year. Tennessee, a 19.5-point underdog in that game, and they beat Florida in Gainesville. Travis Stevens, shout out to Travis Stevens, who lives in Middle Tennessee. Just an incredible game. One of the best individual performances in Tennessee football history. The defense was good. That was a huge win, but they followed that up with a loss to a banged-up LSU team. And in the SEC championship game, had they won that game, they would have played Miami for the national title. Coming off the national title in 98, play for another one in 2001, you're setting up maybe a different, like, mid-2000s stretch for Tennessee than ended up happening. But, yeah, I just saw that dude, and I was like, look, man, I get it. I get that you're upset, but, like, don't tell me it doesn't matter when you're sitting there sobbing. Like, it does. It's okay to say it matters. You know what I mean? It's okay to give the opponent props, too. Like, North Carolina drilled that shot. They executed the end of game play.
And they stayed in the game the entire. Now, I was talking with Ross, who's a known Duke fan, about this game. And he goes, don't you find it a little weird that North Carolina had more court stormings in that second half than they did fouls called against them? I was like, oh, Ross. We've all been there.
Give me a Duke fan complaining about fouls being called.
I was like, Ross, we've all been there. You know how many times as a Tennessee fan.
Anybody that plays Duke is going to say that, usually.
You know, how many times as a Tennessee fan I've sat there and been like, man, why aren't they called Zach Edey in 2020, was that the 2024 tournament with Dalton Connect, and them two just going off. Dalton Connect for the Vols.
You can go back to another Purdue game in the NCAA tournament. What was that guy's name? Carson something? Edwards? No.
Actually, yeah, I think.
I don't remember, but he hit several deep threes in the corner.
I was in high school for that one.
Titans fan Super Bowl, right? Yard short. I mean,
yeah.
There's not a. I get the Cincinnati game where they're going to host an AFC championship game. That's a pretty big one too.
It was Carson Edwards, by the way. You were right.
That's amazing.
You got the name right.
That's amazing that I pulled Carson Edwards.
Yeah. What was it? The foul against? Was it Bone? Was it against Jordan Bone? The foul called on that three that gave him 3 free throws.
Yeah.
They're late in the game.
I don't remember. I'm trying to erase all that. But I know a lot of people try to erase the most painful things. And maybe I think this is just a fun exercise just to maybe get past it. You know what I mean? Just flush it, finally. Years later, decades later, whatever it is. 615-737-1045. If you want to watch the show live, you can. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch. Laura
Twitch, please. Knight
says, good afternoon, y'all. What up? Faux Scoop says, what's good, 3HL fam? Greg Burton, good afternoon, everyone. I love the family atmosphere in the chat. Doug Falling says, 2000 AFC divisional round game. Laura Knight says, as a Bama fan, the Iron Bowl 2013.
Is that the kick six? 2013, the kick six?
Was that 12 years ago? Going on 13? Man. JS Dowdy,
yes,
while you look it up. It was.
It was. November 30th, 2013 was the kick six.
JS Dowdy says, still the 92 Duke game, first UK game I watched as a kid. That's tough. Doug Fallen, Al Del Greco cost us a title. D.O. says, Cam Newton not jumping on a fumble in the Super Bowl. B-Nail says it was Carson Edwards. Thank you. 615-737-1045. Gator Mike, first up today on 3HL. Welcome in, Gator Mike. What's happening, man?
What's up, fellas? If I knew you were flying solo, Brent, I should have rolled in and, pulled the blast from the past, give you a Gator stat of the day like every hour at the top of the update.
That's what everyone listening wants. It's a Gator stat of the day every hour.
And it was hard because I had to try to come up with some good stuff that at least, sounded decent. And, Percy Harvin this, Tim Tebow that, all that good stuff. But anyways, mine actually have like a 1 and then I have 1A and 1B. So can I go through those super quick?
Real quick, yeah.
Yeah. First would be the 1995 National Championship game against Nebraska. I thought we were going to roll those old farm boys.
Yep.
And we got drummed. I mean, I felt like the Duke did. Like, I felt like I wanted to cry because you don't know when you're going to be back.
I think,
Number two,
which you guys were the very next year. But for me, that 95 Nebraska team, the Joe Burrow LSU team, and the Indiana team this year are the three best college football teams that I've seen.
You aren't going 2001 Miami in there too, Brent?
They're there. I don't think they're one of the three, though.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
And then real quickly, 2009 SEC championship game, Alabama beats us to keep us to going. You know, we were undefeated at that point. Tebow's last year, I thought we were going to roll in that. We lose that one, and then, of course, you had to bring it up. 2001 Tennessee game. I went to that game.
Oh, you did?
34-32.
Yeah.
Travis Stevens ran all over us. Yeah.
That's your guy. That's your guy. You love some Travis Stevens.
I love Travis Stevens now that I met him afterwards, you know, at Opryland. Good old days. So, hey, take care and fly the plane straight, Brent.
I got you, man. Thank you. 615-737-1045. Eggy Bob reaches out, says playoff game versus the Bengals more so than the Super Bowl. Bob. That's only because you were too young on the Super Bowl deal, I think.
I wasn't over the Super Bowl, and I feel like that's got to be because you were right there. Like,
yeah, Bob was only like 10 for the Super Bowl.
I was not alive.
Blake Krieger, when Florida came in and beat Peyton's ass at Neyland, game day was there, 97 maybe. Werfel threw a 50-yard touchdown on 4th and forever. Yeah, very first drive of the game. It was 97 in the rain. I was at that game. Spurrier being Spurrier on 4th and 10, Zeph, from the 50-yard line on the first drive of the game. Not only does he go for it, post route, touchdown, Raymond Austin, the defensive back for the Vols, who was a very good player, and then Florida never looked back. They got up, I think, 34-0, ended up winning 34-29. But they were in complete control of that game.
Any 4th and 10, any 4th down touchdown that's a soul crusher, especially that early in the game.
Yep. David in Goolsville. David, what you got, man?
Yeah, guys, University of Arkansas graduate was at the undefeated versus the undefeated Arkansas Tennessee game.
98.
Yeah.
I was there too.
Man.
I was down by your section, actually, in section A.
It hurt, brother. It hurt because they were basically running the clock out. If they could have gotten one more first down. And then, of course, to pour salt in the wound, I think it was Burlsworth that stepped on Sterner's foot. He got knocked back so far.
It was.
And then, we lose Burlsworth later on.
Incredible person. There's a great movie about his story. A walk-on, ended up in the NFL. Unfortunately, a part of that play. I didn't understand the play call there from Houston Nutt, but I feel you, David. Thank you, man. Appreciate you sharing. 615-737-1045. Nick in Mount Juliet. Nick, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Vols fan here.
Yep.
You remember the time when Odin blocked that shot, and the Vols hadn't had their recent history of good performances in basketball, so they were going to the Elite Eight, and I think it was Smith driving down, put it up in the air. Odin blocked it. They went on to win the national championship.
Huge lead in that game. Yeah, huge lead in that game too. Thank you, Nick. Yep, that one hurt too for Vols fans. Billy in Lebanon, worst loss that hurt you the most. 615-737-1045. Billy, what's up?
Hey, not much, brother. Two things. Actually, I want to sneak a sidebar in. The kick six, Auburn beating Alabama on that missed field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, your buddy Zach Allen, I went to school with him.
Yeah.
His mom picking us up from school at Ezel Harding in like a 71 model Cadillac limousine one day. We used to carpool together, so every time I hear him on the radio, I think of that. But
loves that.
Yeah, the kick six was devastating, man. Horrible.
I got you, Billy. Thank you. Appreciate it. 615-737-1045. Slay's coming up. We'll revisit this topic in a little while. Jim Wyatt will join us at 4 o'clock post Super Bowl. He was in the Bay Area for like 10 days. He was there for the Pro Bowl.
He was working.
He was there for Radio Row. He was there for the Super Bowl.
He sat right next to us.
Yes, so we will check in with him at 4, and then we'll revisit this topic 4:20 till 6. It's me, Zeph, and you guys. 615-737-1045. Gator Mike reminds us that it was 1996, that Florida-Tennessee game. And he said it was inside the 50. He said it was around the 35 because he asked about it later that Spurrier said they were too close to punt. So he decided to go for 4th and
no field goals.
4th and 10 and
so
11.
Just throw the touchdown instead.
Yeah,
appreciate that. Spurrier.
In the rain, too. All right, Slay Dog checking in from Bristol, Connecticut. We'll talk about some SEC basketball. Vanderbilt in action tonight at Auburn. Auburn a favorite in that game. We'll talk about it next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, y'all? Big Slay coming to ya. And you know I got to talk about We Grow Hair, man, when they've been able to deliver like they have, not only for me, but for people all over the good state of Tennessee, man. You can get a full and thicker head of hair right now. All you got to do is reach out and hit them and say 615-376-6010. Don't say that. Call that. How about that? 615-376-6010. We Grow Hair right here in Nashville for almost 30 years. Proven solutions that work. No one else in Tennessee has the ARTIS robotic FUE procedure, and We Grow Hair's high-density hair transplants that give you 2 times more hair in one procedure. So, backed by the only company I trust to help your thinning hair, that's We Grow Hair. Call them right now, 615-376-6010. This year, look and feel better about yourself and restore your hair. Go to WeGrowHair.com. Call them, 615-376-6010 for your free consultation right now.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you. Big Zeph is here.
What's up?
Don Davenport on assignment. Big Slay is in Bristol, Connecticut. Slay Dog, what up?
Hold up.
Is he talking?
He is, but nothing's coming out.
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Rick Albright says Pig Howard against Georgia almost died. Yeah, Pig, incredible effort to get to the end zone, then fumbled through the back of the end zone. Tennessee would have pulled off a huge upset in that game. I was there for that one, too. Mitchell, Brent, is Barnes going to be coaching for his job in the tournament? That is, if they even make the tournament. Okay, come on, man. Slay, welcome in. You there? Slay Dog, you there?
I'm most definitely here.
There you go. I hear
I don't know what else. This is what Cosell ended up going through when Zeph can't get us on, man.
No, someone had some headphones plugged into the computer, and they were playing out of that. I was like, I hear his voice, but why can't nobody else hear it?
He kept asking me if I could hear you. I'm like,
because
no.
I could hear you through these headphones back here.
Let's start with this. Mitchell, Brent, is Barnes going to be coaching for his job in the tournament? That is, if they even make the tournament. Come on, man. Listen, Tennessee plays at Mississippi State, then LSU, then Oklahoma. At that point, they're probably 9-4 and 19-7.
Like, what is Yeah, Mitchell. Yeah, he is. He's coaching for his job. I think every coach in America is coaching for their job. I don't think anybody is going out there feeling A-okay. I think the last one to do that was the last one probably to do that is Bill Self, Kevin Sampson.
How about Bill? How about Bill Self?
We might as well throw Rick Barnes in that category too, because he's fine as well. So there's a couple of people coaching for their job. Coach Hurley's not one. Sampson's not one. Bill Self's not one. Rick Barnes is not one. Todd Golden's not one. Shall we go on?
Yeah.
Like what are we talking about?
Slay Dog, you were in Bristol doing the ESPN thing last night, and speaking of Bill Self, how about number 9 Kansas without Darren Peterson? Didn't play, flu-like symptoms, and they take down number 1 Arizona. I was shocked to find out that was the first win for Kansas at home against an AP number 1 team ever.
No, that was a good game, dude. Like, that was, You got to give a lot of credit to Fog Allen Arena, though. Like, them fans, dog, they were behind them. It was beyond loud. You could hear it on the TV. They were into it from the get-go. Even when they started out down, they settled in. And, man, Melvin Council Jr., and the Badunga down low, dog. That was a low. You could tell the energy was high. Arizona was gassed. Jaden Bradley didn't play well, but I still like Arizona what they did. But Kansas, they learned how to play without Darren Peterson early, and with it being a home game, they were able to build on that. They were just fine, man. So salute to Bill Self pulling that out. That was dope.
Council Jr., 23.6 rebounds, 6 assists. Kansas did a great job on Koa Pete, Slay, just 6 points on 2 of 11 shooting.
Yeah, great job. Great wrinkle by Coach Self in the second half, because they were punishing him in the first half. Even though Koa Pete wasn't scoring, he was assisting, and they had a nice high-low post-to-post pass thing going. Second half, they dropped the extra defender right there. And the big, all he had to do was swing it to the corner. They would never swing it to the corner. They would always go back to the guard. So they were able to even up the points in the paint. So Kansas did a terrific job of it. That's what it's about. Making counters. Making counters like Kentucky countered Tennessee up in the rope. It's the same. You got to be able to counter.
XX MySpace breakdown. Big Slay made Nashville proud on ESPN last night. Good seeing the big fella on primetime.
Appreciate that space breakdown. Hey, listen, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do the thing that I can do when I can do what I do.
For those watching Zone TV, will you be wearing this on ESPN tonight on the set?
No, actually, I got my iron plugged up.
I'm so proud of you.
Shirt on the ironing board. You know what I mean? So I'm all together. I got my slacks already on. You just can't see them. But I'm one thing you ain't got to worry about is am I gonna be fresh? I'm gonna shout out the street. You know what I mean? Y'all go to JM Streetwear, man. It's going down. I'm telling you now. That's fit check. All you got to, I'll tell you what, follow me on social media. You check out the fit check. Fit check will be in
fire mode
online tonight. They'll be ready to roll.
Before we talk more men's basketball, let's talk about the 5th-ranked Vanderbilt women's basketball team. Takes down number 10 Oklahoma 102-86. Another big win for the Commodores. Michaela Blake-Slay, 34 points and 6 assists. She has not scored fewer than 20 in an SEC game this season.
She won't stop. She just won't stop, man. She took a week off where I think she had 18 or something, but to come back like this, man, and Galvin also to be to break 30 with her. Oklahoma's a good team, a really good team. Chavez and Reagan Beers, I love watching them play. But Vandy at home, they tough to stop. And Michaela Blake's, she'll be National Player of the Year. I know it's a lot of people out there that's hooping. And Vandy probably got to make a deep run because they're not as popular right now, even though with them being number 5 in the country. Michaela Blake's, man, she's tough. Leading the country in scoring now, too.
Freshman Aubrey Galvin, career high 30 last night. So Vanderbilt 23-2. They host number 4 Texas on Thursday night at 6:30. If you're looking for something to do, head over to Memorial.
Now we're going to get to see. That's going to be a matchup. Galvin versus Rory Harmon. Can Michaela Blake's offset what Madison Booker going to do? That's going to be a matchup, man. If you ain't got nothing to do Thursday, I would advise you to go to the game.
There you go. Tonight on ESPN, you'll be fully involved. So if you watch ESPN basketball tonight, doubleheader, you'll see Slay Dog. Number 11, North Carolina at Miami. Carolina, 1.5-point favorite on the road at 6 o'clock. Number 4, Duke at Pitt. Duke, a 16.5-point favorite at 8 o'clock. So North Carolina and Duke played each other on Saturday, an instant classic. And I asked the question, Slay, and the phone's lit up. What loss hurt you the worst? Because I saw a Duke fan on ESPN being interviewed, and he was just sobbing coming out of that game. And he kept saying it didn't matter. And I'm like, bro, own it. It did matter. That's why you're sobbing. You're at a funeral. We get it. We love sports. We understand. What loss hurt you the worst? And this may be something that you were involved in. I don't know.
Oh, you know exactly which loss hurts me. The loss to North Carolina. The Sweet 16 loss. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. That was the loss that the knife turns in my side over and over and over. I'm doing a podcast tomorrow night on the field of 6'8" with Goodman and those guys and Norm Roberts.
Oh, cool.
He was a assistant coach on that Tulsa team that we would have played if we beat North Carolina. And Tulsa had beat us early in that year. And it kind of circles back around to Bill Self. That's how Bill Self got his start. They won in that tournament and made a deep run in the Sweet 16 to the Elite 8, and they catapulted from there and went to Kansas, and it's not been the same since. So, but yeah, that's the one, man. That's the one. I heard, who was it, Vrabel? I think they were saying before the Super Bowl, this game changes people's lives.
Yeah, that
was a game that could have changed people's lives. No question about it.
Yeah, you guys were convinced that you would have won it all.
Yeah, at least went to the championship. Mm-hmm. At least went to the championship. Definitely Final Four, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Which is never been done.
We would have mocked Tulsa in the Elite 8. We would have been in the Final Four. And then only reason we felt that way because Florida made it there, that Mike Miller team, and we swept them that year. You know what I mean? So we knew we could compete. So, yeah, that was a tough one, boy.
Monsoon Monahan says, can't the hotel do your clothes for you? So pull your fame, bro.
Yeah, man. I trust me doing my stuff. If it ain't the cleaners in Nashville, then I trust me to do mine.
I completely understand. Zeph asked me in my ear to ask you, do you have a loss that hurts you the most as a fan? Mine was the 2000, and this may be the same one for you. Mine was the 2001 SEC championship game, coming off that big win against Florida in Gainesville as a 19-point underdog. And then they lose to a beaten-up LSU team. Had Tennessee won that game, and they were a pretty big favorite, they would have played for the national title against Miami.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there, man. Mm-hmm. That right there, golly. And I think being so close to the squad, you know what I mean, knowing what they had been through, to get to that point, golly. And that was probably not the last, but that was the end of that era of guys coming off that national championship team. You know what I mean? The freshman and sophomore. So that was, man, they had a special team, dog. I would have loved to see them have made it to that and took care of business. But yeah, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think as
because I think that game had Tennessee won and gone and at least gone and played for a national title. That Miami team was unbelievable, but had they at least gone to play for a national title, winning one in '98, playing for another one in 2001, maybe that sets off a different trajectory through the mid 2000s. You know?
Yeah. I think y'all talked about one earlier, the shot that Carson Edwards hit.
Yeah.
When the phantom foul on Lamonte Turner. They tried to say
it was Turner. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a foul at all. But Carson Edwards did kick his leg out. He sold it. They called it. So that's why Purdue's been a thorn in the side. I think the other one was the Dalton Connect team, losing to Zach Edey. I think that team goes to the Final Four, is no question. Like, I went back and looked at the stats of that game. Like, you just had an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
And then that's why it's all about matchups in these games, dog, when it comes down to basketball. Football as well, too, in sports in general. The matchup means everything. They just had nothing to stop Zach Edey. That was it. That was it.
And he was throwing people around and they weren't calling any fouls. And that was the frustrating.
They weren't calling 3 seconds.
Yes.
Either.
Yeah.
So both of them, man, that was he going over the back. It was, oh my gosh, that was a tough.
Who did Purdue end up losing to that year?
That's a good question, Joe.
Was that wasn't NC? No, that was.
NC State. They beat NC State in the Final Four. Oh no, was it the Final Four? It might have been NC State.
Because I can't remember who took out.
I remember DJ Burns and them played them. No, because NC State went to the Final Four. They beat NC State in the Final Four. I don't know who the team was that they beat. Was it Oh, it wasn't Michigan. I don't remember.
It was NC. No, they didn't. UConn. They lost in the championship that year. To UConn.
Oh, Purdue?
Yeah, Purdue lost in the championship that year.
Yeah, but who did they beat to go to the Elite Eight?
To
the final.
It was NC State.
I was NC State.
They beat NC State in the Final Four.
That DJ Burns NC State team was fun to watch.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
That was a good group.
Coach Keats. Shout out to Coach Keats, man. NC State.
Kerry Keats. SEC tonight, Slay Dog. Number 19, Vanderbilt at Auburn. Vandy lost to Oklahoma on Saturday. They're 3-4 in their last 7. Auburn has lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in the SEC. Big game. Tyler Tanner in his last 4 games averaging 26 points per game, 6 o'clock on the SEC Network. Auburn a slight favorite in this one, 3.5.
Yeah, I think it's tough, man. We keep talking about matchups. This is going to be a tough one for Vandy going on the road, man, going down to the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
They play well down there. This will be one of those games I wish that Duke Miles was playing. I think he's going to need that backcourt firepower because of the athletic wings and guards that they have. And then I think it's a mismatch at the 4. I wonder if they're going to put Okereke on Keyshawn Hall. Keyshawn Hall's been on a tear, and they all play very well down there in Auburn. So Vandy's going to have to shoot the ball well. If the pace is slowed down, they're going to have to defend the one-on-one matchups and bring secondary help and defend the 3. If not, man, Auburn, if you ask me who I like, I'm going to take Auburn in this one just because they're playing at home. Auburn plays well at home.
Number 21, Arkansas.
The jump is still a real thing without Pearl.
Yes. Number 21, Arkansas at LSU. Arkansas favored by 5.5 on the road, which I thought was a kind of a low line there. But then I look back, and Arkansas beat LSU in Fayetteville 85-81 a few weeks ago. Hogs have won 4 out of 5. LSU's lost 8 out of 10. Arkansas is a good basketball team.
Yeah, they are. LSU, they're going to compete. And I wonder if DJ Thomas is playing for LSU, the point guard. He's been sitting out for injury. So if he plays, that could make it more interesting. But Arkansas should win this game. What'd you say the line was? You were 5.5?
5.5, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. But I would take Arkansas in the points on this one to beat that down there. They just need Brazile and Pringle to continue to play the way they playing. Like that's a dominant fashion they've been playing in. If they can do that, you ain't got to worry about the guards. The guards will do what they're supposed to.
So little baby parlay there with Arkansas 5.5 and Auburn money line.
Mm-hmm. And then, man, I'm gonna be real. If you want to add in there Miami and North Carolina, I think, man, that Jay Lucas, he's a coming from up under the umbrella at Duke. You got them dudes playing well, so it could be a little problem down there. Malik Renew is pretty good. I want to see him and Caleb Wilson match up, so I'm gonna take Miami.
Interesting.
Miami over North Carolina.
Well, in just 2 days, too, since that emotional win against a rival with a 3 at the buzzer.
It's really important to not have a hangover.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, Miami will be waiting. We see it all the time. This could be one of those games.
Real quick, and I'll go through all of the local-ish teams a little bit later, but I wanted to mention a couple with you. Austin Peay is in first place in the A-Sun. They have a 1-game lead over Central Arkansas. They've won 6 in a row and 13 out of 14. They play at Queens University on Wednesday. And then TSU in second in the OVC, 1 game behind UT Martin. They're hanging right there. Tied with SEMO at 10-4. TSU has won 2 in a row, 4 out of 5. They play 2-12 Southern Indiana on Thursday. So trying to keep pace there because they end the season against UT Martin. So if they're right there, they got a shot to win the OVC.
Dude, you talking about, man, that would be excelente.
Can you imagine?
Nolan. Hey, dude, I hope that happens, man.
Yeah, man.
That'd be big for them, big for the city. So salute to Nolan. We'll have him on tomorrow. We can ask him about it.
I love it. Love it. Slay Dog will be in tomorrow. Have fun tonight on ESPN. Get that shirt ironed and ready to roll. I'm proud of you with the ironing board out. You know how I am with that.
I know you love that. Yeah, I just ain't doing the sheets. But I will say, man, I'm going to bat for our guy Native Mint tonight. You know what I mean? They were releasing the top 20 Wooden Award finalists that's in the running for it. And I got a segment about snubs. And I feel Ortega and Nate Mint were snubbed off that list. So I'm going fighting for us tonight, fellas. So
Nate Mint on a roll. Tennessee in action in Starkville, Mississippi tomorrow night, which we'll talk about tomorrow. Slay Dog will be back. Thank you, Slay. Good stuff, man.
All right, baby. Love y'all, baby.
Love you. See ya. There he goes, Big Ron Slay. When we come back, again, what loss hurt you the worst? Just kind of stumbled onto that topic because I was thinking about a Duke fan I saw that went viral leaving the game against North Carolina, and he said, it doesn't matter. This just doesn't matter. But he was sobbing, tears hitting the floor and all this. And my point was, of course it matters. Own it. Say it matters. Damn it. We'll be right back. What loss worst hurt you the worst? Get it off your chest. 615-737-1045.
I want to tell you about Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Maybe you know you need replacement windows and doors. I'll tell you the place you need to go. That would be Pella. They are the best. A couple things I love about them. First of all, we had our windows and doors replaced by them in our rental property in our house. And lifetime warranties on their products. And then on top of it, they back up all their work with warranty as well. 10-year labor warranty, which is leading in the industry. And they have the staff in place to support you, the customer. And that's what I've found in working with Pella. They're the absolute best. My girl Brittany's taking care of us. And we love our new windows and doors, especially during that cold spell. And we could tell how nice it was that we actually had windows that worked. And for February, they're going to give you a deal, a Dawn deal. I get to do a different one every single month for you. So the Dawn deal for February, all you have to do is when you call them, you say, give me the Dawn deal, and they got you. It's a good one for February. Buy 3, get 1 free on windows, and no payments, no interest for 12 full months. Don't even have to pay off your stuff for a full year. Schedule your free consultation. Check out the Dawn deal. You can do it online at PellaNashville.com.
What's happening, y'all? Big Slay coming to you. And fellas and ladies, get real about your health. It's that time of the year. You don't need to be waiting and stretching it on out and say, I'm going to start next week. No, you need to go to Synergix and Low T Center right now. And for a limited time, the men's TRT test is free. So take advantage. Women, we ain't forgot about you. Women's hormone test, normally $2.99, now $99. And the weight loss consultation, that's free. Walk in, book an appointment, get at getmyhealthfix.com, and I promise you, you better believe it. They will come through for you. Fellas, when that T level is getting a little low, probably below 300, you need to get on it. Get on the TRT, the testosterone replacement therapy at Synergex and Low T Center, and watch how great you'll be feeling. It won't be just for you. It'll be for your spouse, too, I promise you. But that's a whole nother conversation. Understand that you got so many locations for you to go to. Go in there, get your free consultation right now. It's Synergex and Low T Center. Go to getmyhealthfix.com.
HL 104.5 The Zone. It is a Tupac Tuesday here on the Big Show. Brent Doherty with you. Executive producer of 3HL is Zuff Dog.
What up?
Babs on assignment. Slay Dog in Bristol, Connecticut. You can check him out on ESPN tonight. If you want in, 615-737-1045. 3HL is powered by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. SpringHillAC.com. It's that time of year, man. Bouncing up and down. Going to be in the 50s tomorrow. 70s the last couple of days. So you need to get that, make sure that AC unit, that HVAC unit is in check, and you can do it with our guys at Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, SpringHillAC.com. Preds, just 4 points out of the second wild card spot. They host Chicago on Thursday. 25 games left. Zeph, your assignment is to not go to any more Preds games.
I can't. I think I can do that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I have not seen them win. Ever. Anytime I've gone, they've lost.
Yeah, stay out of the building. I think the last game you saw was against Chicago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was also the last. I have to look at it, but the last time I looked, it was also the last time that they didn't score a goal in a game. And then they had
yeah, they're going to ask you to stay away.
They had a month full of games where they've scored at least one goal in game. They may not have won everything, but they at least haven't gotten shut out.
Blair Durham in the chat. What up, Blair? Brent, how was the Super Bowl at Neighbors? It was awesome. And I'll tell you this, one of the biggest reactions to a commercial in there was the Bart Durham injury law commercial with me and Slay Dog in there.
Yeah, I had that feel being famous on TV there for a little bit.
It was kind of weird, honestly. I'm glad that I had my fresh haircut from my guy Matt Fine at Structured Hair. Shout out. But anyway, so what Neighbors did was they reserved seats. They were open, but they also you could reserve tables that were closer to the bar for a donation to the Rowley Foundation, which is what we did. And they raised $5,800 for the Rowley Foundation, which is awesome. Don Davenport will MC their event coming up on April 9th. And I think rowleyfoundation.org, if I'm not mistaken. There, James Owens. I love the commercials before the Super Bowl, guys. Thank you. Ender. Slay Dog is in the chat as well, asking y'all to hit the like button, which I will now do because I forgot sitting in here. I started to say solo. I've got Zeph with me, but I'm alone in the room. Zeph is between some soundproof glass and me. But that's kind of what's going on in here. 615-737-1045. Jim Wyatt coming up at 4 o'clock. But we've got some room. We stumbled onto a little topic and trying to get it out of your system. Worst loss that hurt you the worst. The loss that hurt you the worst. Thinking about a Duke fan coming out of that Carolina game the other day, which nobody feels sorry for Duke fans. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, if you're a Duke fan, that's a true thing. Josh in Portland. Josh, what's up, man?
How you guys doing, man?
Yo, good.
Man, we got the Daytona 500 coming up this weekend, and I grew up in a racing family, and I can't help but think Dale Earnhardt passing away was pretty rough on everybody.
Yeah, man, that one was tough, Josh. I appreciate you bringing up the legend of Dale. I was driving to the radio station to do some weekend work, and I was listening to Doug Matthews, who told me, I had not heard that. Like, he broke the story to me. Let me just put it that way. Because the news came down while he was on the air. 615-737-1045. Captain Tony, what up?
What's going on? How you doing today?
Yo, man, great. Thank you.
You doing good solo, man? You feeling all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm great. Listen, man, this is when y'all are the co-hosts, man.
Yeah. Man, listen, hey, what was that guy Mitchell's name earlier that said something about the basketball with Rick Barnes losing his job or something?
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain didn't they just sign him to a lifetime contract, like the first one ever?
Yeah, so would they literally have to kill him to fire him? Is that?
I mean, he would
Or he'd have to retire,
down, right?
Or he'd have to step down.
They put a hit out on Rick Barnes
to
get out of that contract? Oh, man.
I've been watching Tennessee football for as long as I can remember.
Yes, sir.
My stepdad got me into it. My mother was never big into football. We grew up in Crossville down in Cumberland County in a little town called Lake Tansy. Some of you listeners might know where Lake Tansy is. But I remember when Jamestown, during the national championship, I just remember that being like the game that I became a fan of Tennessee. I think it was 98, so I was 10 years old. But all through that time, 25 years, nothing more painful than the South Carolina loss. You know, I mean, a chance to go and play for a title, felt like we had like an actual team to compete and win a title. And then you don't just lose, you get house. That gave up 66 or 60, 63, 66 points or something like that. And just that to me was demoralizing. That was for me as a fan, Titans, Vols, throughout my Chicago Bulls fandom, any sport, that South Carolina game was the worst game for me in my lifetime.
That was tough. I don't know if you had a chance to hear our conversation with Hendon Hooker last week at Radio Row, but he talked specifically about that game and really opened up about some things that I didn't know. He said that he had torn his meniscus the week before and that he didn't run at all during the week. And Joe Milton started kind of like, he put his head down and started chuckling when he was talking about how he didn't run that week. And then pregame, he noticed that the field was kind of crazy. He said there was a lot of sand in there.
Looking back on it, I do remember the field just looking bad, at least on TV.
And that's why when he brought that up, I'd forgotten about it. I was like, yeah, it was all chunked up. And he's like, yeah. But I thought that was an interesting conversation. I know Tennessee fan doesn't necessarily want to go back and relive that, but I did think it was interesting to hear Hendon Hooker's perspective and then Joe Milton chiming in because they were roommates. And he said, man, that one hit me because we were going to go to the playoff. And he goes, my guy was going to win the Heisman. And he's like, that's all we talked about in the apartment. And so that injury really hurt all of us. And, yeah, that one was tough. That's the first one you mentioned.
How do you think Tennessee would have matched up? So would they have gotten the 3 seed?
I don't remember.
Would they have gotten the 3 seed over? So the bracket that year was Georgia 1, Michigan 2, TCU 3, and Ohio State 4.
Maybe the 3.
Would they have gotten the 3 seed over TCU and pushed Ohio State out of it?
Or strangely pushed TCU out? Even though they were ranked ahead of Ohio State in that scenario, maybe Tennessee being in it is a different scenario. I don't know. It's funny. Those guys vote weirdly, like week to week based on.
Let's say they do take that 3 spot instead of TCU. That Tennessee-Michigan game, probably would give Tennessee the edge there. And then you'd have Tennessee, Georgia in the national championship, which Tennessee would have gotten a chance for revenge after losing to them earlier in the season.
By the way, side note, to let you guys behind the curtain, Zeph Dog has broken 2 microphones in here over the course of the last month or so.
Well documented.
The one you broke in here is the mic that I use, that Will Bowling uses, that Buck uses.
Nope, Buck doesn't use that one. Remember, he uses the special
one. He
one.
pulls over.
Because he's Zach. So Zach
and me. Anyway, they've changed them all out now. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, it's changed in here too.
Except for Dawn's mic.
Yeah, so our engineer, Mike Buckner, who's awesome, by the way, said that the one that is on Dawn's chair, which has like the suspension almost, he says it puts too much weight on the arm. And so that's part of the reason why that plastic piece that I kept breaking, because it put too much weight on it.
He's trying to be nice to you.
Yeah, probably, but I'm going to believe it, okay?
I've been in this business for almost 30 years. I got in 97. And I've worked with Mike Buckner, our head engineer here at Cumulus Nashville, for almost all of that time. There were a few years that he was at a different group where we were here, but then he came here. So I only missed him. I've probably worked with Mike Buckner like 26, 27 years. It's crazy.
6, 7. I knew you stuck it in there a little bit.
The one good thing about that is I know Davenport ain't listening. So there's that. Will and Franklin. Will, what's up?
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Great, Will. Thank you, man.
Good. As a Titans fan, I think the worst loss I ever experienced, and I was at the game, was the Chris Johnson, was against the Ravens when Chris Johnson got hurt.
And they twisted his ankle?
First play of the game, he took it like 70 yards, and like the next possession, he got hurt. We fumbled at the goal line like 3 times that game, and it was just that Ravens thing that comes to us in the playoffs.
That was a tough one, Will. Yeah, thank you. We recently talked with Chris Johnson about that in detail, and he told us that, yes, the Ravens hurt him intentionally and that they had tried all game twisting his legs in piles, and they finally got to him. Algie Crumpler had a big fumble. Derek Mason, Titans legend, was with the Ravens. He had a big game, and he was playing to the crowd and everything. That was a tough one. It was sleeting over there, too, during that playoff
Remember
game.
when we talked to him at Super Bowl, not this year, but last year in New Orleans? He brought
Is that when it was?
He brought that back up.
Yeah.
So, real quick, before we go to break, the Titans made a hire, an interesting one. Robert Saleh's cousin, Ahmad Saleh, who is a linebackers and special teams coordinator at Wayne State, has been hired for the Titans.
What's his role with the Titans?
I do not have his role yet, but that one's from Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports. So Robert Saleh.
A little nepotism hire
doing
there.
a little nepo hire there. So that should be interesting.
All right, well, we can ask Jim White
nothing like
about
Saleh,
it.
by the way.
We can ask Jim White about that. I don't know if he can answer if the Titans haven't officially announced it. He won't, but we'll see. Jim White, TennesseeTitans.com next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. I want to tell you about my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. Yes, Valentine's Day is coming up this weekend. You still have time to go see the Imam Ali family. Let them help you out. They have an incredible selection. They'll be able to help you with a last-minute idea. It'll be as easy as you walking in there. 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. BrentwoodJewelry.com is the website if you want to go ahead and check them out there. But they've been there for more than 50 years. Brentwood Jewelry has been proudly serving the Middle Tennessee community with exceptional style and exceptional deals every day. As a family-owned and operated business spanning 3 generations, they are deeply rooted within the community. From Salem Service and Special Forces to his son serving as local firefighters, the Imam Ali family is dedicated to giving back. Support local, shop Brentwood Jewelry. Maybe you're thinking about popping the question. Let Brentwood Jewelry help you take the stress out of selecting that perfect engagement ring. They can help you find a beautiful ring in your ideal budget. Browse their incredible selection of one-of-a-kind rings, or talk with their custom design specialists to create a stunning ring as remarkable as your loved one. Watches. I love watches. Maybe the person in your life does as well. Nashville's premier timepiece dealer, Brentwood Jewelry. Check them out Valentine's Day coming up, but they can help you. 7012 Church Street, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Good afternoon. It's 4:03. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports at the Make Kentucky Down Studios. In Titans news today, according to Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports, the Titans are hiring Wayne State linebackers coach and special teams coordinator Ahmed Saleh, who is a cousin of new Titans head coach Robert Saleh, who's coached all conference performers at both linebacker and on special teams this past season at Wayne State. In NFL news today, the Raiders have officially named Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as their new head coach, signing him to a 5-year deal. And Browns tight end David Njoku announced that he is going to be done in Cleveland as he enters free agency this offseason. Tennessee Vols lost another coach as the Rams are hiring Tennessee cornerbacks coach Michael Hunter, who just joined the staff this offseason. And tonight in college hoops, Vanderbilt back on the road as they head to Auburn to face off against the Tigers. Tip-off set for 6 p.m. Central Time in Neville Arena. For all your foundation repair, whatever needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home to the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
.3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. We're here for you till 6 o'clock. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch. Zeph would say Twitch, please, but he's talking to Jimmy Wyatt. Zeph Dog is here. Dawn Davenport on assignment. Slay Dog in Bristol, Connecticut. So you've got me and Zeph until 6, and we appreciate you guys being the co-hosts today. And we'll be ready to roll with Jim Wyatt here in just a second. I want to tell you that there's an event coming up on Thursday that's kind of outside the box and will be memorable, and that's what life's about, right? Memories, and you can create some memories at T-Line Nashville. We're broadcasting live Thursday starting at 10 a.m. with the Buck Rising Show, followed by Cover 2 and 3HL for our Sweep, Sip, and Snack Curling Challenge this Thursday. So you have an opportunity. I'm guessing you probably have never been curling, but if you have, you can still do it. If you haven't, good time for you to do it for the first time. And you can grab your team or your buddies, hit the ice, test your skills, whether you're a seasoned curler or a first-timer wanting to try the sport. Purchase a ticket for discounted ice time that gets you a 30-minute curling session window and an appetizer for only $25. It's going to be laughter involved, camaraderie, plenty of photo-worthy moments for sure, memories to be had by all. To get tickets, for more information, visit 1045thezone.com. The other part of that is if you do not want to curl, you don't want to do the curling thing, come out. It's going to be fun. It's an incredible bar. They've got a bowling alley, too. They've got all kinds of things, TVs everywhere.
Lawn games outside. It's a really cool place.
It'll be fun. That's Thursday coming up 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. With Buck Rising, Cover 2, and 3HL, all broadcasting live, 1045thezone.com.
They also have solid pizza, by the way. Last time we were out there, we ordered a pizza. Pretty good.
It looked good. I had the wings, too. Yeah, looking forward to it. 3HL 1045 The Zone. 3HL is powered by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Coming up just a little bit, we'll talk about the NFL draft. There are 72 days until the NFL draft. Shout out to Brad Hopkins. Brad Hopkins days until the draft in Pittsburgh. And we'll talk about edge rushers and cornerbacks and wide receivers and all of those good things. Jim Wyatt joins us now. Jimmy, you back home finally?
Back home, yeah. I got back last night I got home about 7 o'clock, something like that. So long, productive week, Pro Bowl and Super Bowl together makes it a little bit more challenging, but I'm back and now gearing up for 2026.
I love it. So what was your biggest takeaway from San Francisco? You were up there for the Pro Bowl festivities. You were there for Radio Row. You were there for the Super Bowl. What was your biggest big picture takeaway?
Big picture. Let's see here. I thought the buzz in the room at Radio Row, I'm sure you guys could attest to, was probably at its height on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yep.
Usually, I think for the Super Bowl, that's usually Friday. But I just think those Pacific time zone, West Coast, time zones get people in the building earlier rather than later, and early in the week as opposed to late in the week out there for sure. I love, I like San Francisco. I think it's a great city. I think the stadium is spectacular. but having covered a lot of these things, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, the logistics are tough there because, again, you got Moscone Center, which is in the heart of San Francisco, but then you've got, the Monday night event that's taking place in San Jose, and you've got one of the teams staying in Santa Clara, and the football game taking place in Santa Clara, and another team staying close to San Jose. Like, everything is just so spread out.
Yeah.
And I thought, and then the Pro Bowl experience, I hate to say it, it's just, and I've been to the Pro Bowl when it was in Hawaii, which was the peak event.
Congratulations.
So, in Orlando, and where it's well done. This Pro Bowl was lacked something just because it was in the bottom of a convention center, and it just didn't have the same
feel
that it had. And the Super Bowl Monday night didn't have the same feel. It was in the bottom of a convention center in San Jose, which was connected to the hotels at the Titans Stadium when they played the 49ers in December. It just lacked something. So did the game. So, but I thought under the circumstances that, San Francisco, I think it's cleaned up. The city's been cleaned up a lot since I was out there the last couple of years.
I agree with you there.
I thought that there was some excitement in the city. It's just, I prefer a Super Bowl where everything's closer together and you don't have to really leave the city to do anything.
Now, if you do drive down 6th Street, you're going to find a lot of homeless people, unfortunately, and just kind of wandering around. It's kind of a weird scene. But, 10 years ago, Super Bowl 50, the entire city smelled like weed the entire time I was there. I didn't notice that this time.
Well, I did go through some pockets of weed. I can't.
Well, yeah. Pockets. But,
and you're talking about the Tenderloin district in San Francisco. That's the thing. You just got to be aware of your surroundings out there. I know the Tenderloin area is the area that's a little bit. It's certainly dangerous, especially at night. And unfortunately, the game wasn't better. Like I kind of thought the game would play out like it did. I thought the Patriots put up a little bit more of a fight. I picked the Seahawks to win by double digits, and they won by
double digits.
They won pretty handily. It wasn't really much of a game, and so a shame the game wasn't any better either.
Well, it was interesting. You mentioned Radio Row, and we were hanging out and doing our thing, and I think we had 27 people on the show on those 3 days that we were there. Zeph, yes, 27. But we're standing there, and I noticed Burke Nihill walk by, we were talking with him about kind of a site study thing because with the new building, obviously the city of Nashville is going to be up for everything you can think of sporting event wise, including the Super Bowl. And you did a great piece on TennesseeTitans.com after you talked with Burke. What did you learn about that?
Well, I guess the biggest thing I learned, because you're right, Brent. I mean, this city is in on it for the Super Bowl, the draft, the combine. You name it, any league event, this team wants to be a part of it. And we've been talking about the Super Bowl potentially being in Nashville since word came out that we're getting a new stadium. And, this group from Burke Nihill to Tina Ivey with the Nashville Convention and Visitors Bureau, they go to the Super Bowl every year just to kind of, talk with people across the league, but certainly more recently, especially this year, it was more of a kind of a fact-finding trip and just seeing how San Francisco did it, and they did the same thing last year when it was in New Orleans, and thrilled to do it next year in L.A. Just, what the setup looks like for Radio Row and the Media Center and the Super Bowl Monday night and where the teams would stay. What are some of the venues going to look like? We'd have parties. And so they are certainly gathering info, trying to be ready when they make their formal pitch to the league at some point in the not so distant future.
Yeah.
I think, based on my conversation with Burke, I think I've been under the assumption, I think a lot of people have kind of been under the assumption that maybe 2029 is potentially a Super Bowl year for Nashville, but I don't know. I think now it's more maybe 2030, 2031, sometime in the early 2030s now. just from a timing standpoint. And I think that's actually better just because it gives that area on the East Bank more time to develop, and a couple of years into the stadium and trying to do some things around it. So, but I obviously it's in LA next year, Atlanta after that. They'll have to start announcing 29, 30, 31 before too long. I think Vegas is going to be in play again. But Nashville, I think, be in the mix at some point in the early 2030s.
You know, it's interesting when you just when you think about, like, geographically building-wise, as you mentioned, and all of the things that go into it. And you think about San Francisco because, as you mentioned, teams staying in Santa Clara. Oh, shoot, it just dropped the games in Santa Clara. Teams staying in
San Jose.
San Jose, yes, thank you, Zeph. But a lot of it going on in San Francisco. There's like 100-mile radius of Super Bowl event structures and events and things like that. So when you start thinking about Nashville and you wonder, like, how can they get it centrally located where everything is near the stadium? It doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the New Orleans Super Bowl is everything's walkable.
Yeah.
And Vegas like that too. But Nashville, obviously we've got a great convention center in this city that could house, the NFL experience and house the media. You could use Bridgestone Arena for events. You've got a ton of hotels now that will be in play, not only for NFL headquarters, but for teams potentially staying there. And then you've got a stadium, obviously, right across the river that's easily accessible. So, and by that time, the city's going to be even further developed.
That's right.
That's the thing about the draft. The draft was great in 2019, but just look how much the city has changed with the Fifth and Broad right across the street from the arena and some of the hotels that have been built since then. I mean, 7 years later, Nashville looks a lot different downtown. And think about 5-6 years from now, especially when this new stadium's up and the current one's torn down, just how much that can change. So it's exciting just to think about how well it could be done here. And that's part of the reason Burke and Tina Ivey were there, is just to start imagining the possibilities.
Yep, TennesseeTitans.com. Read that piece. You'll be interested. I love the little blurbs that you did. You caught up with Titans Fan of the Year Kay Jernigan and her nephew, Garrick Hutchison. You caught up with Page High School football coach Charles Rathbone, who was the high school coach of the year, the Titans High School Coach of the Year. I love those little blurbs on your social media.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, and Tyjae Spears was there too with his dad. That's the cool story. Is that Tyjae it's become an annual trip. Players get access to tickets. Tyjae takes his dad as kind of a reward. I saw them in Vegas. I know they were in New Orleans last year too. It's good. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is a Super Bowl with the Patriots in it. Not something probably, and former Titans head coach, probably not something that a lot of Titans fans will read about on TennesseeTitans.com. So you got to look for some kind of Titans angles there. And fortunately, I was able to find something different to make it Titans-esque on Super Bowl Sunday. So I appreciate you saying that. And maybe at some point in the not so distant future, Titans will be in this game, and there'll be all kinds of Titans angles to cover.
Well, I mean,
got to get better, obviously, and do better in the draft and do better in free agency and start winning some games. But teams have gotten better quicker, and we saw that this past season.
Yep, New England won 4 games last year. And I know I'm reaching when I say this, but Titans did score more points against the Seahawks than the Patriots did, and Cam Ward did play a clean game.
Yeah, it's a tough day for the Patriots, and the
Patriots,
Mike Vrabel did a good job this season. They had a great turnaround, but let's be honest. I mean, they had a pretty smooth walk to the Super Bowl, and you got to win. But they had historically one of the easiest schedules in the National Football League this year. They had a path to the playoffs that include playing the AFC Championship game against a quarterback that had not thrown a pass in a couple of years. So they were living right to get there, but Seattle certainly proved that they're the best team by far, and I'm curious to see how the Patriots will be next year with a tougher schedule and some better competition. I think I'd be surprised if they're anywhere close to that game next year.
Oh, definitely true. We went through this yesterday. So their schedule, for those wondering, Bills, Jets, and Dolphins twice apiece, right? Their home games Again, they had the easiest schedule in the NFL this year, easiest schedule calculated since 1978. Next year, different deal, as Jim mentioned. Broncos, these are the home games. Broncos, Packers, Steelers, Vikings, and Raiders. Road games, Seattle, Chicago, Jacksonville, Chargers, Lions, and Chiefs. That's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. I will say this. I mean, it's hard to know what things are going to look like until the season starts. Like the Titans were supposed to have an easy schedule this year. They had a fourth-place schedule, and the way things played out, they ended up tough schedule in the league. That's why they're picking fourth in the draft and not first. So you don't know what teams are going to look like. But yeah, I would think that the Patriots can have a much tougher time turning heads next year.
Yeah, New England and the Titans both had fourth-place schedules this past year. That's crazy. The Titans hired a coach. I don't know if it's official yet, so I don't know what you can do with this, but Ahmad Saleh, the cousin of the head coach, has been hired. Don't know his role as of yet.
Yeah, I have seen that, and it's not official yet the way we're handling it. I mean, we've announced, obviously, Brian Dable and Gus Bradley and John Foster. We've announced the coordinators. I've seen, 15 staff moves out there, but we've decided we're going to release them all at once, not until the staff is finalized. I would think that's maybe later this week, if not early next week, leading up to the combine. But, that's an intriguing hire. I will say I've looked at the guys reportedly hired, and there's a lot of guys with a lot of experience on it, which I think is encouraging. And I think, that's one of the mistakes I think Brian Callahan made is when he got the job as a first-year head coach, he hired, all first-year coordinators and had a relatively young staff, and that's not going to be the case with Saleh. He's going to have a mix of veterans and also some young guys in there that kind of working their way up.
That's one thing that stood out to me now that you mentioned it. Talking with all the national people and like former players and coaches, everybody to a man has been really impressed with the job that Saleh has done putting together a staff with a lot of head coaching experience. That kind of stood out to me the few days we were in San Francisco.
Yeah, and Dable was the key. I mean, that's the thing. When Saleh was hired, that's the first thing everybody wanted to know. Well, who's his coordinator going to be? And and he got a coordinator that's been a head coach, and he's got a defensive coordinator that's been a head coach. So that's a great start, and should bode well for this team as it tries to get better.
Jimmy, great job, man. I appreciate you hopping on today, and we'll talk with you next week, brother.
Okay, thanks, Brent. Have a good one.
All right, at Jay Wyatt Sports, TennesseeTitans.com. Again, interesting piece on kind of a site study with the Titans crew in the Bay Area. When we come back, we've got a lot to get done between now and 6 o'clock. Zeph has pulled several cuts from some of our Super Bowl conversations. If you missed some of those, we've got some of that for you. Big Jeff talking, Louis Riddick, Bo Jackson with an incredible story about his recruiting and what he visualized during his long runs. I hadn't heard either one of those stories before. And we'll go from there. Also, the question of the day, what hurt you the worst loss-wise? What loss hurt you the worst? I was thinking about a video of a Duke fan coming out of that Duke North Carolina game the other day, and he was just sobbing, saying it didn't matter. Well, clearly it did matter, and it's okay for it to matter. It all matters to all of us. That's why we do what we do, and that's why we talk about sports and we have fun doing it. If you want in, 615-737-1045. Also, the draft 72 days away. Edge rusher? We'll talk about it next. 3HL. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Appreciate you being with us. Babsy on assignment. Slay Dog in Bristol, Connecticut. Got Brett Doherty with you until 6 o'clock. Getting a little cloudy out there. Some rain coming in. Going to be a little cooler tomorrow, but in the 70s today. Zeph Dog is the executive producer of 3HL. He's here.
What up?
And again, the T-Line event coming up on Thursday. If you want to participate or just watch or just hang out and have some great food, drinks, whatever, you can Thursday at T-Line. Look it up online, 1045thezone.com. You can grab your buddies, hit the ice, test your skills. Whether you're a seasoned curler or a first-timer wanting to try the sport, purchase a ticket for discounted ice time that gets you a 30-minute curling session. And I'm sure they've got people over there that can show you what to do. They did with us last time we were out there. It was so much fun. And I didn't do it. I just watched. I watched Slay and Dawn do it. And they had a great time. I had a great time watching them.
It was, it's a lot harder than it looks. Those Olympians out there make it look way easier than it is. Lots of core strength involved, believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do it. I just, we needed someone to man the microphone because it took a little time. It took longer than breaks to get that done.
So we had our company party there last Friday. We did not go. We were on a plane back here. But I heard that CJ Ekibop was on the ice and may or may not have fallen.
That may or may not be funny.
As
long as he was not hurt.
So I have not heard from Ekibop, but I did hear that he may have taken a spill or two.
CJ Eki works with us, and he got the nickname Ekibop from Slay because he bops around when he walks, is what Slay says. So bopping on the ice, probably not a good thing.
Well, if the rumors are true, then yeah, no, that's not a good thing.
Right. So that's coming up on Thursday. Buck Rising will be there 10 to 1. Cover 2 from 1 to 3, 3HL 3 until 6 o'clock. So a chance for you 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. to come out and try curling. I mean, Winter Olympics are going on. I haven't gotten into it yet necessarily. I'll catch things now and again. You know, it's funny. I was telling Kirby with an eye. I said, because we put figure skating on, which I love, especially like when they're going for medals and things like that, you know, when all the pressure's on the line, because that is a pressure cooker right there. But it's funny to think about, like, while you're watching these athletes perform and under the intense pressure that they are under, and then you start thinking about, well, they do this for 4 years, and they do all of these events and all the practicing and all these things that lead up to, like, us watching them for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And, like, that's an interesting thing to think about. If you want in, 615-737-1045. You're a guest host today if you want in. No more guests until 6 o'clock, so we'll be here. Again, congratulations to Zach Pillar and his wife Victoria, raising almost $6,000 for the Rally Foundation by reserving seats for the big game on Sunday in their neighbors' locations. And we were in the Gulch location, and it was packed, and it was fun, and we had a great time, even though the game sucked. 72 days until the NFL draft. It is Brad Hopkins days until the draft in Pittsburgh, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Also, we'll get to some cuts of audio from some of our conversations from the Super Bowl that you might have missed, and encourage you to go back and hear all of the conversations. 1045thezone.com. Maybe you're cleaning a house, maybe you're going for a jog, whatever it is, maybe a long car ride. You can get all of it done. And you can do it by going to YouTube. Search the Zone YouTube feed, and you can watch them all there. If you want in, 615-737-1045. Tap in Goodlettsville. Next up on 3HL. Hey, Tap, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing? I remember you back in 97 when you started.
Oh, thanks, Tap, man.
And I really enjoy y'all show all the years, and I appreciate you.
Well, I thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I got into the bit. It's funny. Zeph and I have kind of a similar story timing-wise. Just it's funny how, you know, people say luck it's just preparation meets opportunity, which I believe that to be true. But when I got out of the University of Tennessee, I majored in broadcasting, and right when I graduated, I had a friend named Marcy Hines who worked in this building, as a matter of fact, and they had a job posted on a cork board downstairs, so they had it posted in-house. So there was no way for me to see it, but she saw it. And so she reached out to me and she said, look, they're hiring a producer for a show called The Sports Scene on 1510 WLAC. And it's 20 hours a week and you're getting guests on the show. And so I applied. A lot of people did. I was fortunate enough to get the job. And I was told later one of the main reasons why I got the job wasn't, my skill set or my history or anything like that. I actually wrote a handwritten letter, put it in a manila folder, and hand-delivered it to the program director, whose name was Kelly Carls back then. And he said that was a big thing. So maybe a little note for you if you're young and trying to get jobs or whatever. But that's how I got my gig. Zeph, same kind of thing. Right when you got out of school, there was a job opening.
2 weeks before I was about to graduate, a job opened here, and I reached, my boss at my student radio station at Tennessee passed it along to me, and then I reached out.
Yeah.
And ended up getting the job, and now I'm here.
So I went 20 hours a week. So I also worked at Blockbuster Video, which is this thing to the younger crew out there. So there used to be these stores that had movies on VHS, and you would go rent them. And so then you would take them home, watch them, and then bring them back. And I worked there too. And I don't know, you just kind of did whatever you could, right, to make ends meet. And one thing leads to another. And I always tell the younger people in the business, if a door cracks, bust it open. That's it. And then everything is about relationships and how hard you want to work. Don't be lazy. 3HL powered by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, SpringHillAC.com. I worked with the great and the late great Bob Bell, who is a media icon in this town, and Bill King, who is still doing radio in Nashville, and certainly appreciate those guys. 615-737-1045. Thank you, Tap. We were talking about worst loss that hurt you the most, and a lot of people weighing in there. Chauncey next up on 3HL. Chauncey, what's up?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Thank you.
What's up, Zephyr?
What's up, Chauncey?
Hey, kind of like Mayor, I'm a Tennessee transplant down to Houston and back to Tennessee. So in 93, I was living in Memphis at the time, and we only got Cowboys and Steelers games down there. The cable box still had the little zip thing on top of it. Anyways, Oilers are playing the Bills in the playoffs, and they came from ahead 35-3 to need a kick to go into overtime 38-38, only to lose 41-38 up in Buffalo. I've never cried over a sporting event since then. No one can ride me about my favorite team winning or losing, because that one hardened my soul to where, hey, it's just an event. The sun will come up tomorrow, and I'll still have to do what I have to do. Thanks for listening to me,
Hey,
guys.
thank you, Chauncey. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I grew up an Oilers fan, so that one hit me hard, too. Took the huge lead. Warren Moon at quarterback. Frank Reich for the Bills, who just got another offensive coordinator job, as a matter of fact. Yeah, that one hurt. 615-737-1045. I get it. Joe in Bowling Green. Joe, what's going on in South Central Kentucky, brother?
Well, luckily no ice.
There you go. Good news.
First of all, I got to give some kudos to you for powering through your voice problems out there in Radio Row. I always appreciate the coverage and always enjoy hearing you, and I'm sorry you're having those problems in that moment. That was pretty tough.
Well, doing this job, you put a lot of stress on your vocal cords, so it happens to me, I don't know, once a year or so. And it was tough timing being at Radio Row, but props to my teammates for lifting me up there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why then, you know?
Yeah.
But my tough loss, you've heard this before, and I hope you don't mind me telling it again, but Zeph hasn't, probably some of your listeners. I'm a Western student when I'm in the Astrodome in Houston, 1971. Western's playing Villanova. If our small forward hits either one of the two free throws that he missed, we play UCLA for the national championship 2 days later. That was by far the toughest loss I've ever. So to be there in person and see that happen broke my heart. And as far as pro football, any Titan fan other than the Super Bowl loss will tell you we had numerous losses against the Ravens that were heartbreaking. Joe Nedney probably doesn't sleep at night for some of them. But anyway, you know, we went through that period with Jeff Fisher where we just got snake bit by the Ravens, and all those hurt. at that time. Anyway, thanks for letting me call.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate it, Joe. Thank you. 615-737-1045 at 3HL 1045 on X. You can follow us on Instagram. Zeph does a great job with our Instagram feed, and there are all kinds of Big Jeff comments there. There are like 49,000 views on one of those things. Something like that.
I think so, on Big Jeff talking about Ruben Bain, I believe.
Yeah, that's who he wants.
Which, it was so funny because when we got done with that conversation and, we kind of brought in some other people around the NFL media, I know Lindsay Rhodes from Sumer Sports, whose conversation was really insightful in terms of where the analytics and stuff are going. But when we kind of told her, like, hey, this is who Big Jeff, and she was like, really? And then I think Laura Oakman, too, was like, really? He told you guys who he wanted to draft?
Exactly who he wanted. Yeah, and Babs set it up like, you need help. We talk about this every year, and, you need help alongside you in the first round. He goes, Ruben Bain Jr. I mean, without hesitation.
It was he started it before Babs was even done asking the question.
Yeah, I mean, may end up with Bailey at 4, but we'll see.
Well,
it's got to be somebody like that,
and
right?
I know we talked with, and I think I've got this pulled. We can play it later with Steve Palazzolo from the 33rd team, talking about his short arms and how he's not 100% convinced that that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, he doesn't buy it. He said, and we'll play the cut. You did pull it. So we will play the cut in the 5 o'clock hour. But basically, he said he wants it done again. He said because they did it, and what did they do, like, before the season started, and it's a GA that did it, and, like, so he wants something a little more accurate with regard to Bain and his arm length.
He also had where he thinks Ruben Bain will go in the draft, which might upset Titans fans.
615-737-1045. Yeah, they may not have a chance at him. That is true. How many edge rushers have been taken in the NFL since the Titans last took one? We've got that number for you when we come back. Also, you'll hear from Louis Riddick. Can the Titans do what the Patriots did in terms of going from 4 wins to the Super Bowl? What about the Titans structure, and what does he think about Cam Ward? That's coming up next. Stay tuned if you want in. 615-737-1045. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty with you until 6 o'clock. Zuff Dog is here.
What up?
I forgot to mention this part of my story. When I got into the business in 97 and I was producing the sports scene with Bob Bell and Bill King on 1510, working 20 hours a week, the first guest I ever booked, here we go, back to Don's We Live in the Matrix thing. The first guest I ever booked, I actually booked today for Friday. Mike Detillier, talking about the NFL draft. And he's our buddy down in Louisiana. So he's coming on Friday at 3:20. And this is my conversation with him, basically. I said, is it too early to have a draft conversation on 3HL? He goes, that's up to you, but I'm always ready. I go, all right, let's do it. So we did Friday. And he goes, bingo, I'm cooking for a Mardi Gras parade, but this will work out. And I said, what you cooking? He said, jambalaya and grilling burgers. I rode in 2 parades this past weekend. Woo! Feeling a lot better. LOL. So, this is Mike Detillier. So if you haven't heard from him, number one, he's great informationally, but his accent's worth it, man. He's got that Cajun accent. And him and Ed Orgeron go way back, and him and Bobby Hebert go way back. So that's going to be fun. By the way, I had a weird-ass dream last night. A really weird dream last night.
Oh, yeah? What was it?
I was hanging out with Dan Patrick. And
has that someone you've hung out with before?
One time.
One time.
At the Super Bowl in Indianapolis. We got to be pretty good friends with Polly Pabst, who was on that show back in the day. And so we are all hanging out together and all that. But one time. And so the weird part about it is that we were playing catch. Like with a baseball. We both had gloves on. And we were throwing a baseball. So I decided to drop a curve at him. And so I threw a curve, and he was like, that's pretty good. He's like, do you know any other pitches? And I was like, well, I really wanted to learn how to throw a slider. And so Dan Patrick showed me how to throw a slider in my dream.
I wish he would have shown me how to throw a slider.
You played, was this in high school?
This is my senior year of high school.
Senior year of high school. You come in relief, and you face this really big dude. And
country, like this is from a country high school, country boy, big dude.
And when I say you might not have ever seen a ball leave the yard so quickly, you might not have ever seen a ball leave the yard so quickly. We do have a video of it, but the audio sounds like this.
So a couple of nuggets you might not have heard.
Well, number one, Alyssa is videoing this from your side of the field. Like, your fans are the ones, maybe you heard the guy right after the ball. Number one, it's a smash, you know? Like, it basically echoed. And the first thing you hear is a guy go, oh, my God.
Yeah, and then the second thing you hear in the background is get out of here, ball, as the ball is going over the left field fence.
And it was like a line drive. Like, it went right above your head.
Yeah.
And out. Play it one more time.
Definitely not one of my proudest moments.
So that's a fan on your side. Oh, man. I did throw a knuckleball. I can throw a knuckleball. A pretty decent knuckleball. And I threw one in my dream to Dan Patrick, and he was impressed by that. So I was like, I woke up like, oh, yeah, I'm impressed Dan Patrick. That's pretty cool.
R.A. Dickey.
Do you have weird dreams like that?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
I haven't had one in a while. I haven't remembered any of my latest dreams.
Remember the other day we were talking about the television show Schitt's Creek?
Yes, I do.
And we were kind of in a conundrum on what to do about that. So we just moved on. But, I mean, it is the name of the show, and it's spelled SCHITTS, just to clarify.
And it's the name of a person.
Yes.
Their last name in the show.
So Joey in the Plains is called in. Joey, what you got, man?
What's up? Yeah. So even with that audio, dude, I could tell that one's gone, and I can't even see it.
Thanks, Joey.
But
Appreciate that.
So actually, I did. I asked my professor that Monday, and I
you
forgot
did?
y'all were in. Yes, I did. You can say it as long as you're referring to the TV show.
Yeah.
You can't say that when, like up without a paddle. So it has to be referring to the TV show or somebody on that show.
Yeah. Okay.
So
thank you, Joey. I appreciate you asking your professor, man. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Like I said, because I'm in media law and ethics right now, and I'm like, because that's a good question, because, like, not a lot of people know if they can say that or not, or, like, what words are allowed and which ones aren't. I mean, your big two, everybody knows, but, like, certain ones. And so, yeah, I was just curious myself, too. But, yeah, you said as long as you're referring to somebody on the show or the TV show.
That's interesting. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. I mean, I felt pretty good about it. I mean, it's the name of a TV show. But, I don't know.
So
it is funny, though, because I've noticed over time, and especially now, like when curse words do slip through, number one, Zeph will hit a dump button, which basically computer-wise eliminates it from what you hear on the air, like on the radio, but it doesn't do it on Zone TV, the app, if you're listening online, things like that. So you will hear. So if something does get by, like we've all done it, because, I mean, you talk openly into a microphone off the top of your head for 15 hours a week. I mean, things happen. Like when I tripped over Babs' bag the other day while all these mics were on, and I said the S word, and then you dumped it, but people can hear it online. People don't really even react anymore. Like, I think we're so desensitized to words now.
There are probably some words that will catch attention, but not every word.
But even that word, because here's one thing. Like, there are a lot of things that we try to improve on in terms of what we do every day. I think we're pretty good at interviews, and I think we're pretty good at I don't know, for lack of a better way to say it, disarming people. And they feel comfortable in the situation and in the room, and words just slip by a lot of times during interviews. And so that's a situation where it does happen from time to time, and you could get an F-bomb from time to time. And it's funny, like, people don't even react anymore, really. But we do our best to avoid those little issues, so thank you for doing that. And again, if you guys do it on the phone, we have to immediately drop you, and that is a thing.
Rules are the rules.
Hey, yeah, go ahead.
So, you know how I said Tennessee baseball released their new smoky gray uniforms yesterday, which they got rid of the old ones with the it says it's like a darker gray. It's got Tennessee on the front, and now it's this lighter gray, and it's got the orange Vol script with some orange details. Well, they just put out a tease for another uniform for their orange and white uniform releases, and it looks like, now they blurred it out, so I can't say for sure, but it looks like they're going to put last names on the jerseys this year, which is cool because they haven't done that in a while.
You're a big jersey guy, just uniform guy, so people know that, but yeah.
So they dropped that tease about 15 minutes ago. So be on the lookout for some more Tennessee baseball uniforms dropping here soon from the Tennessee baseball account.
Well, that sounds good.
Could be
Thank you, Zeph.
interesting.
All right, let's hit the good people with some Louis Riddick, Zeph Talk, if you don't care. And we've got another hour coming at you. Again, if you want in, 615-737-1045. Louis Riddick from ESPN has interviewed for general manager jobs, several of them over the course of the last several years. But he hopped on the show from Radio Row. And again, you can hear any and all of our conversations online, 1045thezone.com, or search out the Zone YouTube feed, and you can see them there. But
or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, that's right. Louis Riddick talking about the Titans. Can they do what the Patriots did in terms of going from, in the Titans' case, 3 wins? The Patriots won 4 games last year and then ended up in the Super Bowl 1 year removed from that 4-win season with a first-year head coach. Can the Titans do what the Patriots did?
When things like this happen, there's really, what it does is it puts pressure on places like the Tennessee Titans. There's no doubt about that, because there is no excuse.
Right.
There really isn't. I mean, this is not, dare I say, this is not college football where, there are certain teams that are just set up because they have more firepower, they have more resources. In the NFL, it's not like that. So look, in Tennessee, with the way that they have kind of like restructured things as far as the coaching staff is concerned, and look, Mike Borgonzi comes from a place that has had a lot of success. there are no excuses anymore. And I think at this point in time, look, ownership obviously itself has to really do a deep dive on themselves and look in the mirror and go, what are we doing to contribute to the lack of success that we're having here? Make sure that they're doing everything they need to do.
Can they do it? Can they go from 3 wins to, let's just go 3 wins to the playoffs. Can they make that massive of a jump from one year to the next with a new head coach?
To the playoffs, I'm going to say yes. I think that they can find their way. If the Carolina, listen, and I get that division wasn't great, but if the Carolina Panthers can get in at 8-9, and the Bucks had a chance at 8-9, I don't see why the Tennessee Titans can't get into at least contention for the playoffs.
My question is, I think the Houston Texans are certainly the potential is there for them to take a step back, right? What are we doing with Jacksonville? Is Jacksonville getting better? Because at that point, you need 2 teams out of the AFC South. I know it's crazy to even talk about, but, I mean, it's not just New England. Like, Jacksonville went from 4 wins to what they did. The Bears went from 5 to what they did. So, like, there are multiple cases of 1 year with a first-year head coach having success off an awful team the year before.
And everything that those 2 teams did is they hit on their draft, they hit on their coach, and they hit on their free agency.
When we come back, more from Louis Riddick talking about the Titans' structure and also his thoughts on Cam Ward and what he sees there. And Steve Palazzolo, you're right, from the 33rd team. Interesting stuff about Ruben Bain's arm length. Real quick, and we'll get back into this. I mentioned it in the last segment that we would hit you with this number. There have been, this from Zeph found this, there have been 86 edge rushers taken by NFL teams in the first round since the Titans took one. 86 edge rushers taken in the first round since the Titans took one. And it was Derek Morgan.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, who actually was a 4-3 defensive end that then played edge rusher when they went to the 3-4. That's something. How many of the 86 ended up in the Pro Bowl?
35.
All right. Well, that needs to be addressed. We'll talk about it next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Looks like I'm going to have to give medical house calls a call because I have got sick kids in the house. And maybe that's you, and maybe you're tired of waiting rooms and call in early in the morning to try and get a doctor's appointment. Well, guess what? Medical house calls will bring the medical provider right to your front door. Urgent care needs, they do IV therapy, all of it tailored to your schedule. Comprehensive, unhurried medical providers that are there to get you back as soon as possible. And if you are working parents, you're juggling sickness, you don't want to have to miss work while the kids are sick. I mean, I get it. And that's where medical house calls can help you out 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. They have same day appointments available. They have next day appointments guaranteed. Here's the phone number, 615-838-2375. It's healthcare designed for your life. It's medical house calls, and you can always set up an appointment online at medicalhousecalls.com.
Good afternoon. It is 5:05. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Circuit Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Down Studios. Titans are hiring Wayne State linebackers coach and special teams coordinator Ahmed Saleh, according to Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports. Saleh, who's the cousin of new Titans head coach Robert Saleh, coached all-conference performers at both linebacker and on special teams this past season at Wayne State. The Tennessee Vols have lost another head coach as the Rams are hiring Tennessee cornerbacks coach Michael Hunter, who just recently joined the staff under Jim Knowles. And tonight in college hoops, Vanderbilt is back on the road. They'll head to Auburn to face off against the Tigers. Tip-off for that one is at 6 p.m. Central Time in Neville Arena. For your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home of the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Prince Orty with you on a beautiful evening in the Music City. Staying a little bit lighter, a little bit later.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday when we were at a moment's peace that the sun was up through the 5 o'clock hour, and it was really nice to see.
Also, that was the first time we've been to a moment's peace in a while where it wasn't snowing while we were there.
Or raining or dark. Yeah.
It was great.
felt
Moment's peace, man. They can help you out. Last minute Valentine's Day ideas. I have their info right here. Here it is. AmomentsPeace.com. Well, that was easy. AmomentsPeace.com. You can get a gift card and print it out. Or you can go into the store and they can help you out and make it look pretty and all those things. Dawn Davenport on assignment. Ron Slay is in Bristol, Connecticut. You can catch him on ESPN tonight. There are 2 games. One at 6, North Carolina at Miami, and one at 8, Duke at Pittsburgh. So North Carolina and Duke both in action tonight, but not playing each other. Although that did lead us down an interesting path with a lot of phone calls, and if you would like to participate, we can certainly do it this hour. I saw a video on ESPN of a Duke fan after North Carolina just stabbed him in the heart and twisted it with that 3 at the buzzer, just sobbing, saying it didn't matter. They're going to get him at Camden Indoor. And I'm like, yeah, it does matter. And it's okay to admit that it matters. We're all sports fans, and this stuff is very, very serious to us. So it's okay that it mattered, big man. But that made me think, what loss hurts you the most in your history of being a sports fan? What loss hurts you the most? 615-737-1045 if you would like to participate there. What y'all think about that? 86 edge rushers since in the first round have been selected since the Titans last took one, and 35 of the 86 Pro Bowlers.
Sounds like the Titans need to change course and take an edge rusher.
Are you Bailey or Bain at this point? I'm kind of either one of those guys, but
I think I'm good with either. I think after hearing Big Jeff, I think I'm going to lean Bain. I think I was more Bailey before hearing that, but hearing Jeff kind of pound the table for Ruben Bain, that changes. That's enough to change my opinion. I think both are tremendous players. I think Bain is better at run stoppage, is what I think I've read about him, where Bailey is the more kind of true pass rusher, quote unquote, whatever you want to.
Bailey's going to put the measurables out there. Bain's not necessarily, but eyeball tests, they're both great. But Bain, you can move him around.
Mm-hmm.
He can go inside, he can go outside, he can go on the edge. He's got a unique skill set. He did have 83 pressures this year, which is the most that PFF College has ever seen. They've been doing this since 2014, I think. So eyeball test, Ruben Bain Jr., pops off the film.
Also,
but David Bailey, 14 and a half sacks this year, too.
Just look at what Seattle did in that Super Bowl against New England. They were able to create pressure on Drake May. And listen, give credit to the Seattle defensive line, blame put whatever blame you want to on the Patriots offensive line. The fact is that they got pressure with 4 more times than they did.
Were you surprised when I told you it was 13%? Was
a little
the blitz
bit
rate?
Because I think
I thought they blitzed all night, but they didn't.
Because I think what you mentioned on Monday is like it felt like they were just throwing guys at Drake May, but it was just their front four getting back there, and it just kind of reminded me how much a pass rush can change a team because your cornerbacks can set back and you can have more guys in coverage. You don't have to have 5 or 6 guys rushing the passer, which means you're leaving your corners on an island. Your safeties can get a little bit more involved and cover a bit more of the field. You're not giving up as many deep shots and big X plays on the back end. Like, it really makes me think, like, hey, I think it's time to stop trying to swing for the offense and let's go swing for the defense a little bit here.
Well, they need to swing for the offense, too. A couple wide receivers definitely coming off the board as the Titans draft here coming up in April. Louis Riddick, one more thing from him on the Titans structure. Louis Riddick from ESPN on the Titans structure and his thoughts on Cam Ward.
Well, I think, so the four most important things are GM, head coach, quarterback, offensive coordinator / quarterback coach. I think you probably feel pretty good about Mike, Robert, Brian Daboll, who wanted Cam Ward badly in New York.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good start right there. I am a big fan of Cam Ward.
Yep, I've seen it on Twitter. I retweeted. I fell in love with him covering him at Miami.
And you know how Cam is. Yeah. Cam ain't for everybody.
Nope.
Okay, if you don't like in-your-face, straight-up honesty, you're probably going to be like, I don't like this guy.
Yep.
If you like that kind of thing, you're going to love him. Daboll's kind of the same way. He's old school. You know who he was tutored by, as far as being around Nick. He didn't mess around. Those two probably work perfectly together. Robert's a great CEO. Borgonzi was around maybe the best quarterback, one of the top 2-3 best quarterbacks when it's all said and done of all time. I think Tennessee has a lot of stuff to be happy about and a lot of good things to look forward to.
Interesting stuff from Louis Riddick there. And we really enjoyed getting a lot of different people's opinions about the staff Saleh's putting together, but also what they saw from Cam Ward and what the Titans need to do. I thought that was really informative stuff from a lot of different people. And again, where you get your podcast, you can see and hear all these conversations. Also 1045thezone.com. Let's go to number 20, Zeph Dog, Lindsay Rhodes of Sumer Sports, because she kind of stays on topic. She's talking about Cam Ward and Big Jeff. And keep in mind, Lindsay Rhodes does analytics for Sumer Sports. Check it.
So I think Cam Ward, and I think that this isn't tied to a specific metric. We measure everybody, by the way, on a 10-to-1 scale, and 10 is historically great player of the year at their position type of put this guy in a conversation like that, and then 9 is so it kind of goes down. 7.
So how many 10s are there this year?
That's a great question. I think there were 16.
Okay.
Which you could argue is maybe even a little bit too much, but now you're spreading it out at all these different positions. Jeffrey Simmons, the reason I bring that up is because he was a 10 this year.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
And so again, if we're looking at 16 players across all of the positions in the league, just dominated. What I think is cool about our way of evaluating this, because like I said, it's frame by frame, every single play.
Right.
We have a bias, just as humans, to bias for the very, very big impactful plays, right? You either make a splash play or you make a terrible play, and then we have a tendency to overvalue those moments in our minds. And I think for good reason, impact's what it's all about.
Right.
But then what do you do on the other plays? Are you consistent?
Yes.
Are you, when we're not, if you're a wide receiver, when the ball doesn't come to you, are you the reason the ball didn't come to you? And so what I think is cool about our ability to measure play is that sometimes numbers will pop up and you're like, that's not what I was expecting. And so let's go back and look into that a little bit further. We have Cam as a 6 on the season. We have a lot of quarterbacks that are a lot lower than that.
Man,
Nope.
what?
No.
Especially from how it started.
Yeah.
So it got more even off
because
when
it was
went
a
to
mess early.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think, and just in general, I think if you're going to draft a quarterback, you are committing to ride a roller coaster for a little while. And so I honestly didn't even watch that much Cam Ward this year, to be honest with you, because I just knew, I was like, I don't want to get on that roller coaster. It doesn't matter, he's going to get better. And even if he doesn't get better as this season goes on, now we go into an off season and we're committed to this for 3 years at least, right?
Yeah.
So let's just
stuff.
hit pause. Let's not like overreact to the highs and the lows when someone is just learning in the league. And if it clicks fast, awesome. That's awesome. But that doesn't happen for everybody. So let's be more process oriented. Let's put pieces around him so he can take the next step in his development. And let's try to, fingers crossed, keep a coach so that the language doesn't change.
Yes.
Because people I think undervalue too what that does to a young quarterback. If you have to learn a new system, you learn a new language, you finally get comfortable at the end of that first year, and now you got to rip that all down. You got to learn something new. Like what we're hoping will happen is that the game will slow down.
That's right.
And that they will stop thinking and just play because they know what they need to do. And then they can work on the little details, right?
Yeah.
And so that's hard to do if you're constantly learning.
It is.
How about that? Lindsey Rhodes. Yeah, they're not keeping Dable. I mean, all things being equal, if the Titans have any success next year, if they have a jump and they win 6, 7, 8 games, whatever it is, he's going to be in that head coaching cycle. So they're probably looking at a scenario where this is a one and done with him. Best case scenario, honestly.
The only case where I could see where Brian Dable might not leave is if there's only like 2 or 3 jobs that open up.
That's never the case, though.
I know.
It's like 25% of the league every year.
It's just the only saving grace that you can even think of that Dable might return if they have that success. Now, that is a big caveat. They got to have the success that is expected with the marriage between Dable and Cam Ward.
615-737-1045. Coming up a little bit later, Chad Reuter with NFL.com put a 3-round mock draft out there. And so I've got the Titans pick that he has for them at number 4 overall. Also their 2nd-round pick and their 3rd-round pick. So we'll do that in just a little bit. Again, the question, what loss hurt you the most? We kind of stumbled onto that little question today. Graham Stewart on Facebook says, Greg Norman, 1996 Masters still hurts. I'd forgotten the details of that one. I know that Norman collapsed and that Nick Faldo won. Nick Faldo, who's been on 3HL, as a matter of fact. But I read the details. Greg Norman had a 6-stroke final round lead and then lost to Nick Faldo by 5 strokes.
He had a double bogey on hole 12 and hole 16, which killed his chances.
6 over 78 in the final round. After starting Sunday 13 under par. Nick Faldo fired a 67 to win, so that's a big one. Dan in Lewisburg next up on 3HL. Dan, what's up, man?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Hey, great, man. Thank you.
Good deal. Hey, well, this one isn't personally me, but I have a cousin who is a diehard Indianapolis Colts fan. And I think it was like 2022, I believe it was, his wife had gotten him tickets to see the Vikings and the Indy play in Minnesota for a Christmas gift. And this particular game, Indy jumped out to something like I think it was like 33-0 lead at halftime. And she convinced and said, man, this is a ass whooping already done, so let's go. So they leave the game early. So they go out to eat, go shopping, do all that. Later on, he finds out they lose 39-36 in overtime. You talking about a blowed lead. That hurt him so bad. And every year around Christmas when he talked, he said, I don't want to talk about football. Worst Christmas I ever had in my life.
That's funny. I don't remember that one. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to look that one up.
Yeah. It was back in 22, I think it was.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. 615-737-1045. Eric in Nashville. Eric, what's up, man?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Great, Eric. Thank you for asking. Appreciate you.
Ooh, I love the 70-degree temperatures for once.
How about that?
Miss those last several days. But anyway, as far as tough losses, I have to admit the UT fan in me has had more than my share of tough losses. I still bleed orange no matter what. I mean, Phil Fulmer and now Josh Heupel, great coaches. But of all the ones on my list as far as tough losses, by all means, for me, that toughest loss had to be September 16th, 2000, when we lost that heartbreaker to Florida. Jabbar Gaffney did not catch that touchdown. I have watched that play 100 times, and to this day, I don't understand how in the Sam Hill he had control of that ball. I mean, what did the referee see that day that we couldn't see?
Well, Here's what I can add to it. Alama Matthews is the name of the official that made that call. He went to Vanderbilt. And,
you're kidding me.
And Tennessee asked the SEC commissioner to never have him do another Tennessee game again, and that request was granted.
And if you think
I was at that game too. Travis Henry went nuts in that game.
175 yards of rushing for Travis Henry that day. A.J. Suggs was our quarterback. And if you think about it, we were in the red zone a lot that day and kept selling for field goals. And as heartbreaking as that touchdown there at the end was, if we had put the ball in the end zone, it would have never come to that. I'm just saying. But that, for me, was the toughest loss I could never figure out. That's all I'm saying. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
have a good night.
Thank you, Eric. And go Vols, he was going to say. Sorry about that, Eric. 615-737-1045. Donald in Nashville next up on 3HL. Donald, what's up?
Hey, man, what's going on? How y'all doing today?
We're great, man. Thanks for asking. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. I know y'all get tired of hearing that every time.
No, never get tired of hearing it, man. I'm glad y'all care.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Hey, so I really don't have a loss. I don't know. The only thing I could really come across was when the Vanderjagt kicked that 60-yard field goal right in the middle of the field to win the game. Peyton was still the quarterback I was at that game here in Nashville or whatever. Peyton was still the quarterback for Indianapolis. Anyway, I was just wanting to hit on one of the last things you said before you started taking calls was, about if Brian leaves, if he gets a job offer, a head coaching job offer. Is that not like exactly what we did to Marcus Mariota? Because I felt like Marcus Mariota could have been something, but 4 different offensive coordinators, 4 different head coaches?
Yeah, what I know about Marcus, and he is an incredible person and a really good football player. Thank you, Donald. Appreciate it. He never got to the level that anybody thought that he would when they drafted him, I guess, is the best way to say that. But the consistent thing I kept hearing about Marcus was that he just needed to let it rip. And that he would look at one read and then run. And that he really had trouble kind of diagnosing the field. That's what I always heard about him, and that's why I kind of flipped my opinion about him in that last year, saying that he just didn't have it. Wanted him to, because he's a great dude, but that was just kind of where he was. I think that was more of a Marcus thing than it was a systematic thing, because a lot of people we talk with in the NFL world will say that more times than not, the coaching staff or the front office will fail the player more times than the player fails the coaching staff, if that makes sense. But in that case, I think Marcus just was what he was, and he had trouble kind of diagnosing route tree. So that's what I know about that situation. But I appreciate the phone call, certainly. All lines are loaded. Look at y'all. Appreciate you guys. 615-737-1045. When you hear somebody fall off, you can hop back in. When we come back, I do want you guys to hear from Steve Palazzolo with the 33rd team talking about Ruben Bain's arm length. And I also want to share with you a couple of Bo Jackson stories that he told to us on Radio Row, which, by the way, if you've seen the pictures of us with Bo Jackson, I don't think Dawn Davenport has ever been happier in her life.
I've never seen her eyes just get that big.
And yes, I know she's been married and is married, and I know that she's had a child. I don't think she's ever been happier than when Bo Jackson was on the show. So we'll play those things for you, and we'll take more of your phone calls. Hang with us. 3HL, Brent Doherty with you. Zeph Dog here until 6 o'clock on 104.5 The Zone. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Robert Saleh was in studio for an entire hour. Yes, he did go through the Boom Boom Room. Hung out with us a couple weeks ago. You can find that conversation where you get your podcasts. Also, 1045thezone.com. And we asked who his favorite artist was. He said Tupac, which a lot of y'all pointed out. Another guy with no hair.
Something about the bald guys in Tennessee
Bald
now.
guys unite. I love it. By the way, Zeph, how old are you? 24?
24. Be 25 in June.
I just got a note from Verizon. Happy anniversary, Edward Brenton Doherty. Thanks for 22 amazing years. I've had my Verizon account since you were 2.
Yeah, no better way to make you feel old than company sending you things.
Oh, I'm never worried about that, man. Every day is a blessing. Gift from God, man. Glad to be here, because at some point you won't be.
So as we were taking calls for like the worst loss, I thought of one. So my initial reaction was to go with Tennessee 2022 South Carolina, which I think is a gut punch because you win that game, you're competing for a national championship. You play Michigan. You're probably going to play Michigan with a chance to beat them. I mean, TCU beat them. I'm pretty sure Tennessee that year could have beat them.
Yeah.
Chance to go to the national championship, and then you would probably play Georgia again, and then you have a chance there to get some revenge. It just hurts. But one that
everybody's got them. What loss hurts you the most?
One I distinctly remember from baseball, the Atlanta Braves in 2012, the wild card game against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about being up on the Yankees.
No, I'm not.
Or Charlie Lee Brandt. The Braves have
old.
lots of them.
I'm not that old. But this one I remember specifically. 2012 wildcard game against the Cardinals. 8th inning, Braves trailing by 3. Andrelton Simmons hits a fly ball into shallow left field, and it drops in between the left fielder and the shortstop. It would have loaded the bases with 1 out, with the heart of the order coming up for Atlanta. They call an infield fly rule. And it was maybe 30 yards into the outfield.
I forgot about that.
And I'm telling you, and you could just go watch it, but
I see the pain in your face just talking about it.
Fans threw trash and garbage and food and stuff on the field.
I thought Tennessee was the only team to do that against Ole Miss. Remember that, where everybody said that?
The Atlanta Braves did this, and they had to stop the game. They had to get fans under control. Several got thrown out. They had to clean up the field. It was like a huge delay. And then the Braves played the rest of the game under protest, which basically means in Major Leagues is at the end of the contest, the result, you can go back and say, hey, this should not count because of a judgment or because of a call made that went against the rules. It was the wrong rules. Well, the MLB was like, hey, since it's a judgment call on an infield fly, you can't play under protest, so we're denying that. And they ended up losing. And I thoroughly believe that if that bases had gotten loaded on that single, the Braves would have come back and won that game.
615-737-1045. X is in Lebanon. What you got, X?
What's up, y'all? How you doing today?
Wait, are you in Lebanon or are you in Knoxville?
I'm in Knoxville.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but he's still X in Lebanon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still X. But, man, I know it was recent, but, man, I got to go with that Tennessee game this year against Georgia. I think that killed our whole season. Like, I think we would have won. We probably would have. And I was talking so much crap to the Bulldog fans. I think I paid out, like, $1,400. It cost me. I was like, oh, my Jesus. But that would probably be my game.
That was a tough one. That field goal pushing wide right, man.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got you, X. Thanks for checking in, brother. Appreciate it. 615-737-1045. Brad and Gallatin. Brad, what you got?
1997 World Series, Indians, Marlins. Indians fan since Major League came out.
Yep.
And I was actually at home in bed with the flu. Game 7, I fell asleep. Wake up just in time to see Renteria hit the walk-off single to drive in. I think it was Greg Counsell. 11th inning, Marlins win 3-2, win Game 7. That was on top of being sick. That was a terrible way to wake up to see that happen.
I got you, man. Indians and Cubs too. Not what was that? 2016.
Yes, That's right. And 97 was just 2 years after the Indians were back in the World Series. So
yeah,
they've still yet to win a World Series for, over 100 years or close to it. So, yeah.
Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it. 615-737-1045. Larissa in Nashville. Larissa, what you got?
You know what, Mary? You are doing fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Although, seriously, I have no time to patronize anybody. But I just want to say, I'm going to kick on a couple of things, or a few things. First and foremost, the Duke and North Carolina situation. First and foremost, I'm all about running a field or in a court. But when you start sucker punching people, now that's a game changer. No, you don't do that. Be kind. Everyone. Thursday's is going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. But I do want to say, what do you guys think about
Wow. What just happened? Larissa, are you okay? Did she just hit like a time portal or something? What do we think about?
I think her call dropped because she's no longer on the phone.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what happened.
I think she went back in time or something. She's like rolling around whatever sports moment she wants to roll around in, like 1987 or something.
She just popped up and she's like back in the event.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. 615-737-1045.
If that happened, don't go talk to yourself from the past. You're gonna screw everything up.
You're gonna change. What was that show I told you about that I watched not too long ago? It was like two or three seasons. It was called 1116 or something.
I got
it. Was about my man went back in time to try to stop the Kennedy assassination, and then there were all kinds of ripples in time. Yeah. Let's hit Steve Palazzolo here real quick, because this is really interesting stuff. A lot has been said and a lot will be said about Ruben Bain's arm length, that he's got short arms, that no one's made a Pro Bowl in the last 10 years with arms that short, all these things. What did Steve Palazzolo, who does analytics work for the 33rd team, think about that?
The word I got on that, because the thing was going viral, that he's got under 32-inch arms, and no one's ever made the Pro Bowl with this or that, whatever it was.
That's right.
But the measurement was an early spring measurement, which I've been told is done by like the most inexperienced scouts.
Wow.
And then arm length measurements tend to fluctuate a little bit, like really badly. Like we had Joe Thomas on our show one year. He's like, some people had me at like 32 and 7/8. Some people had me at 34, and it's like that's a pretty big difference, right?
Yeah.
That's like literally the difference in like
substantial. Yeah.
Wow. So that's my only hesitancy here. And when Bain said he was going to go to the Senior Bowl, I was excited. All right, get his arm length in there. Let's at least tick that box. Like get over 32, and it's like Hutchinson is under 33, and he's 6'7".
Really?
And that's like really short arms for his frame.
Yeah. And he's a Hall of Famer.
Like it's fine. You know, obviously he's a dominant player. He'll be fine. So if
he has
Bain
no problem.
I think he'll be okay. I think some of the rumors may not have been true, but that's going to be like the story of the combine. And if he ticks that box, I really think he does go number 2 to the Titans.
Yeah, it is.
Let's go.
Oh wait, they're 4. I think he goes 2 to the Jets.
Okay, I was like, wait, is it Titans or is it Jets?
Because all season I've been thinking from a Tennessee lens. I'm like, that's the guy that they need Ruben Bain, and then they start. You know, they got surpassed.
For a second, we thought we were going to get first.
My apologies.
Yeah.
But maybe David Bailey's a good consolation.
Interesting stuff there from Steve Palazzolo. So, all those measurements will be well discussed in advance of the draft, which is coming up in April. 615-737-1045. Couple other things real quick, and then we'll take a break. Bo Jackson, storyteller. Can't believe he was on 3HL. That's amazing. Greatest athlete ever. He was the MVP of the All-Star game in baseball and the MVP of the Pro Bowl in the same year. This guy. Tore up his hip, could never play again. If he had that injury now, it would have been okay, which is tough. But he said something interesting, he kind of spilled himself into this story, but talking about what he visualized during big runs.
No, I never thought about that. The only thing I thought about when I had long runs was don't let them catch you. And the reason for that is because when I was a kid, I'm always in trouble. And I got more butt whippings than any 20 kids put together. So my mother would tell my older brother and sister, You either catch him or you're going to take his ass whipping. So that Seattle run and all my other runs, I'm thinking in my head, I hear a voice, don't let him catch you. I'm not running from the defense. I'm running from my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
So in the Seahawks game.
That's amazing.
My brothers and sisters are chasing me, not the Seahawks.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, my gosh. That is awesome.
The Alabama game, I'm running from my brothers and sisters. Because I knew if they caught me, they were going to drag me back. My mom going to whip my butt in the front yard. Yeah. Because I either broke somebody's window or hit a kid in the head with a rock. I've done something.
So what led us down that path was he was telling his 40 story, which is a famous story. And again, you can go back and hear the entire conversation where he does tell that story. But he said the only way he's running the 40 is if they open the garage door, which would allow him more space to run through the finish line, so to speak. And that door had not been opened in years. So they opened it, and then he ran through it and just kept going and went to track practice.
Straight to track practice.
So I asked him about the visualization of the Seattle Seahawks game. He has one of the more famous runs in NFL history where he goes, I think, 99 yards, and he runs straight up the tunnel. And you're like, where did Bo go? And then he ends up walking back after a few seconds. So that's kind of where that was. He also told an interesting recruiting story, and I was like, was it always Auburn when you were a kid? He was like, no, he grew up an Alabama fan. Check it.
I was a Bama fan up until they sent Coach Ken Donahue to my house.
Ken Donahue. And
we spoke and conversated, and he told us about how they wanted me there and so forth and so on. And then he said, we want you at Alabama. We think you'll be a great fit. And I'm like, yeah. Then he said, but personally, I don't think you get a chance to play till the end of your sophomore, the beginning of your junior season. And then he said, Auburn hasn't beat Alabama since 1972, and they never will. And we know that's the only school, the only other school that you're interested in to stay close to home so your parents can see you play. Tuscaloosa was 35 minutes from my house. I went to Auburn, and I carried that message with me, and they never will. And sorry for saying it, but I shoved it up his ass my freshman year. But not Alabama's ass, but Ken Donahue's ass.
Yeah.
So I went over and shook Coach Bryant's hand, and Coach Donahue was standing beside him, but I gave him that F you look and walked off.
How about that? That's a great story. And what's interesting about that, Ken Donahue, he mentioned Ken Donahue by name, who later became the defensive coordinator at Tennessee. And in 1985, number 1 ranked Auburn came to Knoxville to play Tennessee. I was there. And Sports Illustrated was going to do a cover story on him, put Bo Jackson on the cover of Sports Illustrated. But the day did not go as planned for Auburn. Tennessee ended up winning 38-20. They held Bo Jackson down to less than 100 yards. He was a non-factor. Tony Robinson, Tennessee's quarterback, goes off. They put him on the cover of Sports Illustrated with the headline reading, Tennessee Waltz. The defensive coordinator that day, Ken Donahue. 615-737-1045 is the number. Again, you can get all of those conversations where you get your podcasts. Anything you hear on this radio station, you can. By the way, shout out to 104.5 The Zone. Barrett Sports Media, Barrett Media, naming 104.5 The Zone the number 1 sports talk station in the country. National championship. How about that? So a testament to everyone who works here on the air, off the air, our sales team, our marketing people, our promotions people, and most importantly, you guys for supporting what we do. And I wrote this on Facebook today, and I mean it. We pour everything we have, all of us, we pour everything we have into providing you guys with the best possible content every single day. We don't sleepwalk through anything. We're not filling time ever. None of us. Our goal is to put the best product out there possible, and hopefully you enjoy that, and clearly enough of you do. And we certainly appreciate the support. And whenever we see things where you guys are putting us out there on social media and showing your crew and your followers, and you're telling people in the streets about the radio station because there are new people into Nashville every single day, well documented, we all know it. We cannot thank you enough. So congrats to you guys as we are all a part of this thing every single day here in Nashville. 104.5 The Zone, number 1 sports talk station in the country. We'll be right back.
MedicalHouseCalls.com. Healthcare designed for your life. It's 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same-day appointments are available. So understand the next day will be guaranteed. It's 615-838-2375. You can call or text that number. So let me give it to you again. 615-838-2375. This consists of primary health care, urgent care, IV therapy, all of the above. The process is simple, people. Call or text Medical House Calls, and their teams will assess what you need within minutes. You book your visit. After a quick chat, medical providers will be at your door to deliver that care to get you back ASAP. I've done it with the mobile IV therapy. The whole squad has done it. They even came in while we were doing our show and hooked us up to the IVs. Vitamins, minerals, and nutrients going straight to your bloodstream to get you back to feeling your maximum self. It's so simple to make it happen, and you can be a part of it. All you got to do is hit medicalhousecalls.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up today's show. Appreciate you being with us. And to all that call, that you guys were the co-hosts, so to speak, today, and we appreciate that. 3HL bingo card, what we didn't anticipate hearing today, but did. I did go through some pockets of weed.
Yeah, Jim Wyatt.
Jim Wyatt saying that about San Francisco. I'm telling you, 10 years ago, it was 100% of the time you spent outside, you smelled weed. It was different this year. That was a good way to describe it. There were pockets like there are in Nashville. You know what I mean? But it wasn't overwhelming necessarily.
I did it on Friday when I was walking to the convention center when you guys stopped at Starbucks, and I went ahead to get set up. I did have this guy in a wheelchair or like a motorized scooter thing just right in front of me, just like
light it up.
I mean, it was like I was stuck behind him because we were in a crowd. Like, appreciated it.
Here's one more, and it's tough to do when you're in this studio by yourself, but I do remember Jim Wyatt saying this. I'm under the assumption that the Super Bowl will be possible for Nashville in 2030 or the early 30s. So definitely coming. And any major sporting event you can think of, not just NFL.
March Madness.
They're going to be in line for you. Final Four, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want you guys to hear this in case you missed it. When we had Big Jeff on from Radio Row, he was exceptional and really went into a lot of detail about some things that he had said in general terms, like taking Sweat to Dallas, his thoughts on Robert Saleh as head coach, who he wants the Titans to draft at 4. Quick answer was Ruben Bain. You can go back and hear this. Find this conversation. If you're a Titans fan, find this conversation. You will absolutely love it. But here's one cut from that interview. Big Jeff talking about his future. I asked him, do you think you're going to get a new deal this offseason?
We'll see. Of course, I want to be in Tennessee the rest of my career.
Yeah.
They know that. I know I know what we got in that building, especially now with Coach Solly.
Yeah.
But that rookie class, man, they special, and I'm looking forward to keep building it and using my leadership and my vetness now. I consider myself as a true vet now, but I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. Hopefully I can retire Titan.
I mean, they can't not get that done this offseason. You can't let him go into a contract year, can you?
No.
When you have the cap room that you have, go ahead and bite the bullet because it's going to get that much more expensive next year, especially when he is going into a contract year because then he has some leverage.
Yeah, don't have your backs against the wall in that one.
Yeah, he needs to be the highest paid defensive tackle in football. That's or interior defensive lineman.
And it's very clear he wants to be here. Like, I know he could just say this, but sitting down at that table, like, you could feel he meant that.
Well, and one thing that's different between that conversation and this time last year is basically he was saying, in lack of a better way to say it, and not to put words in his mouth, but basically like, hey, they got to show me. For me to continue to want to be here, they got to show me. Let's get Larissa back in here real quick because I thought she hit a time portal or something. What? Are you okay?
You see, you guys this is why I love this station. You're not right, man.
I'm definitely not right.
You guys make our hearts smile. Trust me. And I'm back. I just wanted to ask, what do you guys think about? Let me stop laughing. What do you guys think about some of the folks that are trying to initiate a Will Levis, a Cam situation?
Oh, thank you, Larissa. You know what we'll do? We'll hit on that tomorrow, and it'll be very quick. But Slade,
no, that's okay. Because I want to see you on Thursday. I'm not getting on the ice. I'm going to sit and laugh.
Oh, okay, good.
And I'll be the hot mess.
Okay.
Sitting in the corner laughing.
Slade Dog is back tomorrow, so we'll throw that question at him tomorrow. Thank you, Larissa. Always appreciate your positivity. Dylan, Hodge, if you're on hold, I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you. We can bring this back up tomorrow. If you want to share your worst loss, you'll jump to the front. Remember Dylan and Hodge. That sounds like an attorney conglomeration or something. I don't know, accounting firm. But appreciate you guys. Hey, thanks to everybody that participated today. Thanks for help support the show. We really appreciate that. Most importantly, thank you for including us in your day and in your lives. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. This is something I say every day. It is not scripted, but we do mean it, and we think it's very important, and so we appreciate you. So hopefully at some point we were able to make put a smile on your face. Have a great night. Good night. God bless. 3HL, Organized Chaos.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya unless you're a shout out to
Slay Dog coming back tomorrow.
Slay Dog coming back tomorrow, and another round of ESPN with Slay Dog.
There you go.